my Venmo account right now to make sure. Venmo.
You don't have to.
In a while on a Sunday night. I thought they had more based on how they close. You're still not 100% healthy.
No, I'm still sick. Yeah.
Based on how they closed on Friday, I thought there was a good chance we could see lower prices this week. I mean, maybe they get a little bit under 4,200, maybe it's closer to 41.5. But I thought you can get a little more momentum going if they opened higher and went lower. The only trade I made this weekend was I bought some Cardano. I don't know if you watched Cardano at all, but
I haven't, to be honest.
Yeah, they've killed it. And there was a rumor, which Charles Hockinson denied, but some developers started talking on like Discord or something, or on Reddit, saying that they were having they had all these bugs in their code. And so they killed Cardano ADA.
Yeah, I got it up there on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like
46.5.
Yeah, 46 cents. You know, we started buying that at like, I want to say $2, but I don't remember exactly.
It could be maybe more like a buck 20.
Yeah, maybe it was $1.60 or something like that. It was high.
Yeah.
When we had him on Tasty, he was a guest on Tasty Trade, and Charles Hockinson, the brilliant software developer behind Cardano ADA, and fascinating guy, absolutely amazing. But so one of his developers, who I guess kind of quit or got fired, said, "Oh man, they got so many problems, they're never going to get their new blah 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 act together." And Hockinson said, "Oh no, the guy's full of crap. We're fine."
Yeah, disgruntled or whatever.
Probably. Yeah, whatever. But they've killed on a percentage basis. They've taken it down from where did we say it traded over $2, right?
I saw $1.60 or so.
Okay, well, whatever the case,
I'm sure it was higher. I'll take a look.
Yeah, it's down 75%, whatever, off their highs.
Yeah, 180 we have back in December.
Yeah, so it's down 75%, 80% off their highs. Mm-hmm. So I figured at 44 cents, I can nibble a little bit. That's the only trade I made on Saturday, was buying a little Cardano ADA.
Can you buy a little BAT also? It's mirroring Cardano. It's acting.
I'm not long any. I have no position on in BAT. I have a position on in Ethereum, which dropped from, we sold some 1980, and it's now down to
1606.
Yeah, 1606.
Crypto's taken more of a beating than the market this last week or so.
Yeah, but it also had a much bigger rally. But Bitcoin hasn't rallied as much, but it's back to 21. I think it's, again, I think all these are going under 20, and any kind of a pullback in the market here. Bitcoin's going under 20, Ether's going down and probably under 1,500. And I'm going to buy some. I think we're close. I don't think we've made lows yet, but I think we're close.
Do you think we ever see the Scott Sheridan Ethereum bottom again?
First of all, I bought it at 990, so I don't want to hear you. So, I mean,
it's his birthday, for crying out loud. Give him a little present. Let him say he bought the low. It hurts so much.
It is his birthday, so I'll be nice to him.
You didn't wish him a happy birthday, though.
Yeah, I did. I called him. And just to make fun of where he was going to dinner tonight.
I'm going to text him right now and ask if you called him.
I did call him.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
All right, I'll
another blunt, man. This is good time.
All right. All right. Trying to get this all worked out here. Futures down. Dollars up. Let's do this.
Yelling and screaming on the front row. Jumped on stage, knocked me down. You made me horny. I drug you around, put you in the van, took you to the tail. On the way there, you was texting on your cell. You jumped out the van before I got the room. Hopped in the car with your girl. You danced with girls like a freak. You promised me a threesome last week. Another girl, it's hard to find. What about what's her name?
Crypto's bouncing around.
So many people coming through. I can't get time alone with you. At least I had privacy, single and pole. With you, I can't even jack off no more. You full of shit, full of shit, full of shit. And you need to quit. Baby, you full of shit, full of shit, full of shit. And you need to quit. You got a real bad temper. I got another woman that wants me to pimp her. Out of sight, out of mind, sipping.
All right.
Someplace I can't hear you whine. You're too controlling. My chin is something you shouldn't be holding. You need to tuck your tail. You're a woman, but you think you're an alpha male. Till you're laying on the ground, bleeding like hell, begging the cops to take me to jail. Inconsiderate, selfish. When I open your legs, I smell fish. You talk too much to everybody. So flirtatious, so naughty.
Whoa.
You full of shit, full of shit,
Excuse me.
and you need to quit.
Don't have anything yet. Okay. Okay. Well.
You don't trust me, I don't trust you. What the fuck we supposed to do? You disrespectful. I'll break your neck, ho. I'd rather live alone than listen to you moan and groan. You're too demanding. I got a sugar mama and she's outstanding. The future was looking rosy before I found out you were so damn nosy. I can tell by the way you run your mouth. You're a punk ass no class bitch from the south, showing off on Facebook.
Punk ass low class bitch from the south.
I was blind, but now I see. You getting famous hanging around.
Okay.
And you need to quit. Baby, you full of shit.
Oh.
And you need to quit. Don't provoke me. I might
Let's see.
roll thee up and smoke thee. You're so annoying. My career, you're destroying. You're such an envelope pusher.
Okay, so
It's not fly to me for you to invade my privacy.
is that really? It looks like the S&P 500 gap down corresponds potentially corresponds to this gap up here, right there. This gap. Oh, come on. Oh, it's on magnet. That's why. Oh my God. Wow. That was. I just wanted to circle it. Okay, that gap, right? So it's going to gap down here. Going to gap back down below it, even though, well, I guess now played around with it there. Anyway, what's going on? Let's see. So, Short the VIX is talking about trading suspension.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this one, we have a little bit of an AMC update here. We're going to AMC update going into this next week's trading week. It's going to be a really exciting week. Ape is going to be coming out tomorrow. We have some interesting things with trading suspensions that I want to briefly touch upon as well. And again, we also have Ken Griffin's Citadel Securities making some pretty interesting moves. But again, there are some very important things that we need to go over before this next week's trading week. So buckle up. We're going to go through everything and break it all down. So before we get into all of that information, if you do enjoy the information and analysis that I do provide for you guys in these videos, make sure you go down there and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who do want to learn every time I post a new video. So let's get frame, then we are going to move to the daily. Now, a couple of things that we need to talk about here, and if AMC does end up slipping and closing down this down below, this 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, it's very possible that we are going to be ending up to see lower levels here, this previous level of resistance. Other thing that I kind of want to bring up here,
really
in for a nice little relief bounce back to the upside, just because this stock has been incredibly oversold. Now, the other thing that we kind of have to take a look at here is this daily time frame, where we did end up getting that closing candle down below that 200 EMA, but are also just hovering this 48 right here. And again, with APE to raise capital by not
blah, 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 blah,
to further boost AMC's revenues going into the future. So again, we're in a very interesting spot fundamentally, but technically right now it does look like we could be seeing a little bit more downside. Now, again, if you guys are interested a little bit more in learning about these charts and making sure that you fully understand how to trade using Pythagoras, the first retail investor-driven algorithm of its kind that is an absolute beast in the market. We have Invictus as well. We have all of those other 450 stocks that we alert on multiple different time frames, the learning curriculum, the private live streams. If you guys are interested in that, make sure you check out that link down below and come to the best trades. So going a little bit further into this, I know a lot of people were also kind of freaking out about what was going on with Webull saying that they were suspending trading and if this was going to be a really, really big deal. Now, AMC has a big corporate action coming here.
Welcome to my world, Model 3 dude.
The release and the payout of these AMC preferred equity units, the APEs, coming out tomorrow. And it is normal practice to suspend trading until that corporate action is finalized, and then trading will come back. But we do have a message from Webull here. Thanks for reaching out to us. AMC is undergoing corporate action. The notification displayed on the chart page is set by default for stocks when a corporate action happens. AMC and APE should be open for trading on Webull platform at or around the August 22nd. Tomorrow, market open. Thank you. So right now, there's really nothing all that crazy going on here with making sure that everything is going to go as people are kind of freaking out about this. Is if you look at why securities sometimes do get suspended, suspended trading occurs when the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission intervenes in the market to halt trading activity due to serious concerns about a company's assets, operations, or other financial information. They are and as we can see here, the SEC has the authority to suspend the trading of a security for up to 10 trading days. So things like this are freaking people out a little bit, but again, right now, not really a cause for concern. And then we also have trading halts. Those limit up, limit down halts, very different than this type of suspension.
What about shit, what was it called? Encore or Bravo, Citadel's ATS, Voyager? Fuck, what was it? I forget. Apogee. That's it. Apogee. Like that one.
Those other trading halts are more geared towards volatility in the market, and that's why stocks do end up getting halted. So with the current situation here, it's just there's a corporate action going on, but again, nothing too crazy to really be all that worried about. But I do want to get into what is going on here with Ken Griffin and Citadel Securities, because he is making some interesting moves here, and I want to break some of these things down because I do think, again, there's some misinformation out there that I do want to correct and kind of analyze with you guys. So Ken Griffin's Citadel Securities borrows $600 million as trading revenues surge. Lenders
he said that as if that's a lot of money. That's funny. He said that like that's a lot of money.
After volatility spurs profit gains for U.S. equities trading house. Now, what a lot of people are doing in this situation are saying that Citadel needs a bunch of money and they're going to be going bankrupt.
Right, because it said here as trading revenues surge, lenders line up to provide financing after volatility spurs profit gains for U.S. equities trading house. So what does that mean? That means that Citadel is a U.S. equities trading house, powerhouse trading house. Trading revenues surge. People want to give them money. They want to loan them money to trade with. Which is not the same thing at all as Citadel in trouble, Citadel going bankrupt. Like, But maybe Short the VIX is going to actually say the right thing here.
That's not necessarily the case. I think of Citadel, as everybody should, as kind of two separate entities. Remember, Citadel Securities, the market maker, and then Citadel, the hedge fund. Again, they're probably intertwined in some way, allegedly. But at the
allegedly,
end of the day,
supposedly, hypothetically,
that we have, you have to think about, well, who has the ability to create those synthetic shares? Is it the hedge fund?
God,
it's the market makers who are able to essentially mark a lot of these orders as short exempt if they need to legally naked short. To basically
short exempt. He has no clue what short exempt means. Listen to, oh my God. He doesn't understand short volume, first of all. Holy fucking hell.
Maintain the normal supply and demand metrics in the overall market. And that's what the market makers are allowed to do. So I think of Citadel Securities as kind of potentially the big bad guy over here. I don't really care about Citadel, the hedge fund, because as we've seen, especially looking here, Citadel Advisors on AMC right here over the last quarter has actually increased their position, the share position in AMC by about 656% to 670,000 shares, and then decreased their derivatives positions. And again, even when we're looking at these 13Fs, it's going to be very difficult to ever see, okay, well, is this company actually going to be net short? Because when 13Fs are released, the SEC actually says do not include short positions on these types of forms. So there's no way for retail investors to actually see them. But let's actually go back to this article here. Citadel Securities borrowed $600 million on Thursday to bolster its balance sheet in trading business, capitalizing on strong demand from lenders after volatile markets helped one of the biggest U.S. equity trading houses make a banner start to 2022. The company, which is majority owned by billionaire Ken Griffin, forms a critical part of the plumbing of the U.S. financial markets. Yeah, I guess. They probably do some very suspicious things as well, as we've seen. But again,
oh yeah, right. You got to throw that in. They do some suspicious shit as well. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're a critical part. Yeah.
Times. Say whatever you want. It was thrown into the spotlight last year as millions of investors piled into stock and options markets for the first time. The company told lenders, which include credit funds, that it planned to use the $600 million in part for additional trading capital. Citadel has sought to expand into markets outside the U.S. and build its business with institutional traders in fixed income. Now, remember, Citadel has also taken on a pretty sizable investment too from Sequoia as we come down a little bit further as well to really get into the crypto market here and Paradigm. So Citadel is making moves here and kind of partnering up with these lenders and these other large organizations to kind of further enhance their business. Does this mean that they're going bankrupt just because they took on a pretty sizable loan at some pretty favorable rates? In my opinion, not necessarily. But again, kind of looking at necessarily from a neutral standpoint.
How about not at all?
Citadel, in the way that the market is run right now, definitely needs to change. We all know that payment for order flow should not be in the market here because it limits price discovery. And Citadel, again, is one of, or if not the largest market makers in the U.S. equity trading markets right now. So is it a good thing that they're going to be expanding into these other markets? Well, probably not. So that is mainly going to wrap up this update here on AMC, the Citadel situation that we have right here. If you guys did enjoy the information and analysis that I provided for you guys in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot.
No. Okay. So Citadel's not going out of business. Great. Tomorrow's the day. Oh boy, tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow is the day. Heard that before. Yeah, Citadel's broke and will be on the food line soon. Yes. Oh.
Only here. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Ape. Ape is a done deal. It's closed. Everything is going to be happening the way that it should be. And there might be some hiccups along the way, which is why I wanted to take the time to discuss what I view as sort of the hot topic for the weekend. In fact,
well, I bet they have good cafeteria. Oh, come on. Jesus Christ. Thinkorswim just kills the resources. God damn it.
The time is finally here. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Ape. Ape is a done deal. It's closed. Everything is going to be happening the way that it should be. And there might be some hiccups along the way, which is why I wanted to take the time to discuss what I view as sort of the hot topic for the weekend. In fact, if you're going to come over to Twitter right now and check out what's trending.
If you don't have your shares by Monday, call the police.
Check out the side of your screen.
Not really, but
Ape is right up there. Man, Pokemon, what you doing? Ape is up there as a trending topic. And I thought, hey, you know what? We got a little bit of discussion. We got some people talking about this today. Let's dive into some of the most sort of discussed topics to prepare us for Monday at open. So we sort of have an idea of what's going to happen. I got lots of different brokers pulled up because people have brokers in TD Ameritrade and Webull and Robinhood, Moo Public. There's a whole bunch, right? And I want to give you sort of some thesis and some ideas that have been floating around Twitter.
Give us some thesis.
And we're going to go over some different topics regarding that. So Ape is going to be tradable on the New York Stock Exchange starting tomorrow, the 22nd, Monday. And this is pretty huge. I mean, if you see here on bar chart, you can see AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, and then in parentheses, you got Ape as sort of a preemptive. You can see that this is going to be tradable across the market. One of the misconceptions is that Ape might trade for a penny, it might trade for $4, it might trade for XYZ, blah, blah, blah. The value of Ape is going to pull directly from AMC. So if they split it 50-50, which is what basically I expect to happen.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Present, price of AMC. If we come over here and just check this out really quick, what you're going to see is, hey, AMC right now is trading at $18. We'd assume that it'd be $9. Each would be worth $9. If it's going to be 1-to-1, 560 million shares, 560 million shares, you'd expect that value to be split pretty much even, Steven.
They're not shares. They're not shares. They're preferred equity units. They're 1/100th of a preferred stock, which one preferred stock is worth 100 common shares. So, yes, it is equivalent to, but it is not the same thing as, which is why I don't believe it will be priced the same. Doesn't make sense that it would be priced the same. There's a lot of hassle and time between now and when those things could potentially become AMC common stock shares. So I'm going with it's not going to be 50-50 bet on this. Just because why would it be priced the same? Doesn't seem to make sense to me. But anyway,
combine the two for the true market capitalization, which equals the value of the company as a whole. You take the stock price times total float. That's going to give you a market cap for each. Combine it together, you get the total value of the company. So it's a game of plus, right? You add 1 + 2, you get 3. I mean, it makes pretty good sense, right? However, lots of brokers have different stipulations and different things that are going to be happening when Ape does come out, which I do think is important to discuss. And I have some of the most hotly discussed ones pulled up here, right? This is coming from people who have done their own homework, done their own due diligence, and to give.
Well, anyway, that was a mistake. Now, this could potentially be some drama here. Potentially. Always on the lookout for drama.
What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. In this video, I want to talk about my friend, Tony Denaro. Tony, we need your help. Now, I will tell anybody that if Tony Denaro said it, it's right. Because I've never,
that's a mistake,
this whole journey, seen Tony wrong. So Tony, I'm going to present to you.
Put your glasses on, bud.
What's on my mind? All right. We fixing to crash this motherfucker, ain't we? Ain't we? Think about it. They just split AMC and made it Ape. We know this.
We
But
know
we
this.
know also, like me and Chris was talking about in the Discord, they were
Not
short.
Chris Norland, I don't think.
They needed 25 billion shares of AMC. Maybe less, maybe a few more. I don't know. But Chris was firm on his belief that it's 25. So I said, okay, 25. So if you need 25 billion AMC, you need 25 billion ape. Because every AMC shareholder gets an ape, and that's 25 billion shares
What?
of ape they need.
No, it's not. Yeah, going off of the dumbass assumption that there's 25 billion synthetic shares, but that's not ever been substantiated. It was taken as an assumption, taken as fact, which is like literally stupid. It's literally the worst thing you could do in this situation. So I don't know why he's so smug, why he's so dramatic here. I mean, it's going off of the same faulty assumption that's been used for the last year. Come on.
Now, when it transfers over and it's 25 billion, I did the math. I'll do it right here in front of y'all. Let's do it again. 25 billion minus the 518.
Oh, 518 now. Thought it was 16.
So they are short 24 billion 482 million shares of ape. 24.5
seriously doubt that.
billion shares of ape after you subtract the 518 million that's real. So if you got it in your account, it's real. Okay? And that reminds me, don't let me forget, my next video is about this dude. Y'all know how I feel about
What the hell
him.
is up with his sound?
And his
Raining?
urgent bat signal. And I'm going to share my thoughts about that in just a second. But right now, back to you, Tony. They owe 24.5 billion.
Jesus Christ, man. What the hell? Sounds like... Oh, yeah.
Gold.
Yeah, no. Sorry. I have my own rain here to deal with. Let's see. Uncertainty. Hey, guys. Hey, guys.
Hey guys, all content discussed is due diligence gathered with aim at better understanding the nature of the current market in anticipation of the greatest squeeze in financial history.
Blah, blah, blah.
Let's dive in. So, we just went through quite a week. For reasons obvious to everyone in these plays, the vibe and confidence seem to be at a low right now. Ryan Cohen, Superstonk's glorious spiritual and financial savior, filed statements to
That's crazy because it was so high before. I mean, it still seems to be fairly high over here on AMC stock subreddit. I just can't get over this one. Like, move over, Superstonk. Bed Bath & Beyond is in town. Reasons why Bed Bath & Beyond is heading to the moon soon. Let's see what's new there. Remember January 21st when legends were born and history made. Yes. Let me call your attention to the past. More legal interpretation for forced sell. Oh, they were forced to sell, apparently. Okay. Fudge, shills, disinformation, lies, crime. I've done so much reading and research on Bed Bath & Beyond, Ryan Cohen, and GameStop over the weekend. I'm more confident that we are heading to the damn moon. Let's do this, apes. Together, we got this. God's speed. Theories and thoughts. If retail investors know what are the odds of hedges, doesn't know that. If they know what's going on, then maybe they have a plan to turn the game on their side. A plan to work perfectly must be only known by RC, so hedges don't know what's happening, so they are being lost. But everyone knows the plan, so it's easy for hedges to be prepared beforehand. So it sounds like they're not a believer. Why is Reg Show bullish? Good question, huh? Legendary stupidity. It requires locate and closeout requirements that may negatively impact shorts. Okay. ATER was on Reg Show and dropped from 5 something to 2. It's bullshit. If you believe the mainstream narrative that RC is out, then you believe he would willfully use a very public rally involving a lot of retail investors to make a very small amount compared to his net worth. And you would have to believe that he would allow his reputation to be demolished in the process, with calls for an SEC investigation mounting, as well as being called a total disgrace by Whitney Tilson. You think he would knowingly do that, well aware that a lot of the retail investors participating are likely GameStop holders as well? I mean, I don't know the guy. These people don't know the guy. So, very well could be.
Fell out of his investment in Bed Bath & Beyond. This came as a shocker to most, and many are feeling betrayed. The man, who is heralded on a daily basis as the champion of investors, the one who doesn't sell, the big ape holder who resembles everything we should aspire to be as meme investors, sold. What compounds this issue to many is that a notable amount of meme investors were holding Bed Bath & Beyond solely because Ryan Cohen was
Can we just put him on eBay, Lynn? Can we just put him on eBay? Something. Seriously. Kitty market.
Positions there.
That doesn't sound
Because
right. That does not
he
sound
sold
right.
at a great price, the stock ended up plummeting, with all those faithful investors now holding significant losses in bags after Ryan Cohen effectively transferring their money into his own pockets in a way. Now, I cannot count how many people I have read said they feel uncertain about their investments, unsure Ryan Cohen would even hold GameStop into the future as the possibility of him selling has increased in the eyes of meme stock investors. I even saw some posts reach the top of Superstonk most upvoted for the day saying how they are scared but continue to hold. The frustrations held there have also made their way into AMC. Though most people plan to hold their new ape shares, there are also some that have said they fear future dilution and what Aron might do with them. To this end, we can summarize the general state of mind of meme investors as being uncertain, and we shouldn't shy away from talking about it. The reality of being a meme investor is that indeed this is a very risky play where we rely on each other, strangers, to hold for the collective well-being of everyone. One of my biggest pet peeves with the movement has always been the reliance on needing celebrities to idolize. The problem with this is that the mistakes, the decisions of these individuals will oftentimes have direct impact on how we feel about our own investments. We came into GameStop and AMC not because Ryan Cohen or media personality, but rather the people holding and the intent behind that investment.
No, of course not.
Because
Because
we might have been introduced by some YouTuber.
Deep fucking Value did. Because Keith Gill, he wasn't a celebrity. He was afterwards. But No, I mean, it started somewhere. It wasn't just a bunch of people who got the same idea, I don't think.
Into the play, but we stayed for the analysis made in the faith in the community. Once we depart from that and start looking into someone to lead and place our confidence
Came
in,
for the
their
squeeze, stayed for the
shortcomings will inevitably
fundamentals.
create doubt and chaos at times. Their faults will be accentuated in droves of people feeling sad and unsure. This is why it is imperial that we stay zen throughout the entire process.
Imperial?
Yeah, it's nice and fun to follow these so-called celebrities, but in the end, the collective bunch of retail investors and sheer determination to buy as much of the float as possible is what will make us last. I said a long time ago that this play will have much less victors than people assume. Hedge funds' only play is to have retail investors exit by making the play as long, boring and unpredictable as possible, which causes people to paper hand. That is exactly what has been happening. That's why I always tell people, don't go full YOLO on GameStop or AMC. Instead, find comfort by adding to your investments at a pace and reasonable way.
So buy the stock. Wow, we just gave financial advice to buy securities. Cool. All right.
This play can take years to pay off, and that's the reality that most people are unwilling to accept even now.
But for everything, you know, other than computer share for AMC and GameStop, of course, he personally likes Webull. Yay. And you can get 5 free stocks from this link here. Cool.
Now, almost 2 years into this. Balance is the only thing in this play that will grant you the longevity, the peace of mind and the ability to hold strong, nothing else. Bed Bath & Beyond was a great play for those that sold at the top. It is important to always collect winnings and not just hold onto stocks with the assumption everything will continue going up. Unless it's an investment, such as GameStop or AMC, which are the strongest meme plays right now, there is no reason to hold through a squeeze like that.
No, it's a gamble. But
endlessly. Many assume to know what people like Ryan Cohen plan to do, and this was a reality check that nobody knows anything at all. When it comes to these lesser popular meme stocks or any other play.
Well, that's not true. That's not true at all. The meme stock influencers on social media didn't know because they don't know shit. They know nothing. They misinterpret everything they read. So, I can tell you that, you know, we, in this channel, in our chat, our group, we were pretty sure what was going on when he bought the stuff. And certainly when that form was filed the other day and the price action did what it did. I mean, come on. Like, this is it's so juvenile.
Make sure to always have an exit plan. Remain humble at all times and don't listen to anyone assuming to know what others will do or where these plays will go next.
The whole fucking point of this thing is that you think everybody else is holding, nobody's selling. What are you talking about? So you're telling people to buy more of these stocks, but then you're also saying don't worry about what other people say they're going to do or what they think the stock's going to do.
Investing in meme stocks is like being blindfolded and told to find our way out of a labyrinth.
Oh, fuck off.
We know that eventually in an infinite timeline scale, we come out, but our way out is going to be filled with more uncertainty than we currently would like to acknowledge. Now, I want to talk about markets and what to expect this week.
Good.
Last week we saw equity markets weaken. The Fed made statements suggesting that they are committed to tighter monetary policy, and it has led to a general pullback. We saw further deterioration of Chinese economy as well, something we have been covering for months. This week, we have earning reports from a wide range of companies across multiple sectors, along with some important economic data releases that ought to foreshadow where we might head down a couple months from now. Beginning on Monday, we have earnings from Zoom, Nordson and Palo Alto Networks. Tuesday, we have earnings from Intuit, Macy's, Nordstrom, as well as getting the S&P Global Composite flash estimate. We should also see new home sales for the monthly of July. On Wednesday, we have earnings report from Nvidia, Salesforce and Petco, as well as get pending home sales for the month of July. Thursday, we have earnings from TD Bank, Dell and Gap. We will have access to the US GDP growth rate's second estimate for the second quarter of this year.
That's a good question, Lynn. I don't know. I don't know, because he doesn't want them to sell out of GameStop. That's why. That must be why. But I mean, so far he's been pretty mum about the whole thing. So, we're selling our GameStop shares. Fuck it.
On Friday,
We're out.
we have personal income and spending data for the month of July. On Thursday and Friday, we will have what is called the annual Jackson Hole Symposium, where the nation's top central bank officials will come together. Many are expecting or wishing Fed Chair Jerome Powell to reset expectations in the financial markets. Powell is due to speak at 10 a.m. Washington time and is expected to restate the Fed's resolve to keep raising interest rates in order to get control of inflation. Whatever comments Powell make will have a direct impact on the economy and on the stock market, so expect the potential for great volatility on Thursday and Friday. Lastly, I want to talk about China, because there has been a wide variety of events and reports coming out that suggest further decline in the economic state of the country. Today I am going to focus on talking about employment in China. Remember that the economy of a country is embedded in different sectors. We have hyper-focused on the real estate sector of China, but this week, I plan on making episodic segments covering a wide array of them through each day of the week. Beginning with the one that has been making rounds, Chinese college graduates seems to be having a huge problem finding employment. As reported by Barron's, young people in China can't find work, and the unemployment rate for those aged between 16 and 24 reached a new high on July. The official rate came in around 19.9%, meaning 1 in 5 young people are unemployed. Employment overall did go down as well, however, but the figures released do not account for migrant workers who have moved to China, so the real numbers are much bigger than the 5.4% that was released by the government. Interestingly enough, it is university graduates that are finding the biggest challenges finding employment. More students graduated this year than at any other point in Chinese history, making for the largest job market ever, but graduates can't find desired jobs. These types of problems often work in conjunction with others, as you will now see. China has been adhering to certain zero-tolerance pandemic policies that have crushed economic activities in areas, even if the outbreaks are tiny. As you know, the property crisis, led by Evergrande, has had monumental impacts in restraining Chinese economic performance.
Oh, we know all about
when the Chinese
that.
government refuses to stimulate the economy
Thanks,
themselves,
boss.
which is leading the country to close its 2022 gross domestic product target to be around 5% growth. All of these things have affected the consumption in China and hurt its businesses, but it is especially the lack of income for the youth that is affecting it the most. When you combine unemployment and poorly performing property markets, it hits consumer confidence. Add that the pandemic overreactions by the government and you have an economy barely holding itself together.
Well,
their consumer confidence tends to bounce back quicker than American counterparts, but so far it has remained bottomed with no sign of bouncing up. This will likely remain to be the same until significant progress is seen. Now, another significant contributor to the decline of employment for youth is that tech companies remain skeptical about the future. China has been cracked down hard with extreme regulation, putting these companies on edge. As such, growth has been extremely affected, and that has led to a lot of corporations to withstand from expanding and hiring more people. The problem with this is becoming so serious that now we are seeing firms considering moving their operations out of China completely. Even Apple is considering manufacturing MacBooks and Apple Watches in Vietnam for the first time. These problems are exhausting the morale of the youth, and we will continue to weight Chinese economy down. Like I said, I plan on making more Chinese economy related videos this week, so make sure to tune in. This week will be really interesting.
Because all of the exported economic and manufacturing activity that the United States gave to countries like China over the years has bolstered a middle class. And then you have more people rising out of poverty, getting educated, expecting, for lack of a better term, white collar type jobs. And so they don't want to do the manufacturing jobs. They don't want to make the shit that we buy and throw away here in the United States. Seems, kind of like a common thing. We've seen that movie before. Now we'll go to Vietnam. Yeah, he does make a lot more sense at 5x speed. I agree with that. I thought there was going to be a lot more interesting videos tonight, to be honest with you. So now I watched this CSI video in the car, this other one here. So this is questionable to me. Man, he sold his Chinese stocks, broke even. I mean, I got to consider that a win, I think, right? Okay. So we're going to get a bit of a history lesson here from CSI. It's not too churchy, too preachy, but it's a little bit. So just be warned.
What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And in this video, I'm going to want to talk about the battle that we have going on right now with the hedge funds and market makers and the American Revolution. Now,
American
when people talk
Revolution.
about the American Revolution, immediately people like George Washington comes to mind, crossing the Delaware. You've seen the picture. And Thomas Jefferson and the rest of them that were there at the Constitutional Convention that signed.
Yeah, I saw that on his Facebook.
However, they could have never gotten to that point had it not been for one man named Thomas Paine. Now, most people, and I really mean most people, have never heard of Thomas Paine or what he did to help.
And this is especially like, I don't know, whatever, disappointing or something, because I am a fan of Thomas Paine. So it's like a little bit blasphemous to me to use this example, but whatever.
The American
I'll deal with it.
Revolution and defeat the British. In 1775, they were sitting there on a riverbank. It was snowing, it was cold, and everybody was miserable. They were out of food. They went to George Washington. They asked him, what do we do? And George Washington said, I don't know. Get fucking branches, put them in a pot, stir it up, and everybody will think it's a fucking soup. And they ate twigs and leaves, people. They were doing so bad. And while they were doing bad, there's another man sitting on a stump, and he's got his pen, and he's a writing boy, and he's a writing, and he's a writing. And when he finished the American crisis, he presented it to General George Washington. General George Washington read this, and he said, I want it printed. I want everybody in this country to read this pamphlet. Why? Because they had suffered defeat after defeat after defeat. And Thomas Paine understood that it was the morale and the motivation of the people that was being brought down. And if the British could continue to suppress their emotions and make them believe they were losing, they would lose.
Here we go.
Familiar? Same battle we have today. They believed that if they could just hold on and keep pushing us down with our emotions, eventually we will give up. But on that night in 1775, after George Washington read that, and he sent it around to the men, and they sent Thomas Paine back to Pennsylvania to get with Ben Franklin to print the document, American Crisis. I'm going to share a clip of that in just a moment. But after reading that, and after the men read that, George Washington and his men, they began to look around, and they're going, you know what, this is fucked up. We sitting over here freezing cold, starving to fucking death, and the British are across the river there, the Delaware River, and they fucking barbecuing, got bonfires and tents, and they warm. Fuck this, get in the boat. And they went across that Delaware, and they beat that ass. That's how the American Revolution was won. But it was won because they got tired of being suppressed, people. Here's the beginning of it, and we're going to talk about what Thomas Paine said, what he means, and how it applies to today. So, kick back, relax, and listen to this.
Crisis number 1, published December the 23rd, 1776. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered.
This is something I would expect a Short Squeeze channel to do.
The more glorious the triumph.
Now let's talk about that and what he means and how it applies to today. Because he said that these were the times that try men's souls. The summer soldiers and the sunshine patriots will, in this crisis, shrink back from the duty to their country. And I'm going to tell you this. We have been holding now for over a year. And the summer soldiers and the sunshine patriots, we call them today paper hands. Those that are not willing to stay in the fight because the fight has become too strong for them. So they cower and they sell their shares when it goes up on the next rip, which I expect to be Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, they cower. Those cowards, they sold their position. They maybe took profits or limited their losses. Those goddamn pussies. What are the odds he's a history teacher? I don't know. Good question.
And I think I know why it's going to rip. Because they need your shares.
They need your shares. Boom.
And you say, well, we're holding. You're going to hold. Are you going to hold at 72 again?
Oh.
You've been there, soldier. Or when it hits 72, you're going to say, man, I'm out this shit. Fuck that. I held all through last year. Summer soldiers. Sunshine patriots. Summer soldiers are some
little bitch.
Sunshine patriots today are YouTubers who are convincing you to don't worry about it. Two particular ones. And then I quit watching YouTube videos when I woke up because I did not want to hear anymore. But 2 particular ones, I went to go see their channel.
No, he just makes them now.
Because I knew for the last 5
Jesus.
months, and I've called them both out, that they were not in our best interest. I'm not going to call them out tonight. It's not a versus YouTuber shit. But the point is this. They're telling you, lay down. Don't fight.
Who's saying
Everything's
that?
okay. The British aren't coming. We've won
Lou? Maybe?
this battle.
Certainly Al's not saying that. He's using military references left and right.
When in actuality, right now,
Referencing war crimes left and right.
many of us are on the battlefield fighting, while the Sunshine Patriots are trying to convince you to just...
So holding the stock in this analogy is akin to fighting. Is that correct? Help me understand this. If you're fighting in this analogy, that means you're still holding. So passive action. Al wants to shoot POWs, right? No, he wants to shoot people like he shot Iraqi POWs. So, implication there. But yeah, Al just wants to shoot people, I think. He just wants to shoot people.
Lay down and don't do anything. You're not going to hear that from me. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier of God. I'm a soldier in this. I am down with it, people. I have held.
He is
just
down
like everybody else
fuck.
has held. And this is the time that will try your soul. They're going to want you to sell your...
Boy, after this speech, he's gonna be getting some text from Brenda. Wow.
More importantly than AMC. Why? Because it's registered. There's only 516 million. Now give them out by Friday on the 19th. And they say, well,
You better.
we're going to change the policy during the weekend. And we're going to add in a clause that says other, and it'll cover the ape shares. And we can suspend AMC and ape. Other.
Where's this on now? Webull. Oh, so he's talking about Webull specifically. Okay.
And it'll cover the ape shares.
Well, Stimulating Trey was just talking about China. It's probably because of Evergrande.
And we can suspend AMC and ape for up to 2 days. Because you change your policy on the weekend after the dividend. Get the fuck out of here, people. If y'all don't see that as a fight, you're crazy. Next are those that are getting their shares. I've got my shares in E-Trade. I'm still waiting on 3 brokers to deposit my shares. Will they be there Monday? There better be.
They better be.
Because we're fighting right now on the weekends. Pressuring them over in my Discord.
Fighting?
Pressuring the brokers. Where's my shares? Oh, you'll have them Monday. Well, I better. And then they tell another individual, well, we have to suspend the stock because of corporate action. No, you can't suspend that stock because of corporate action because you changed the policy on the weekends. But summer soldiers are saying, relax. Don't worry about it. The sun is out. Go out and enjoy your weekend. Why? Because either they don't hold a position or on the next rip, which will probably be Monday or Tuesday, I'll explain why in a minute, they're going to sell. They're going to paper hand.
Oh.
They're going to leave people in the cold that they have convinced to hold for over a year and a half. We've seen it before. Trey Trades did it. TMI did it. All of them did it. Everybody, if you go back and look at their first video at where they started.
We did that with
and
Trey.
where they're at now. They bought new homes. They bought new cars. Why?
They bought more
Because
drugs.
they sold at high points. And
More
didn't
alcohol.
So, my message is this. Just like Thomas Paine said, tyranny is not, like hell, is not easily defeated. Yet we have this consolation. The more glorious the triumph. If we hold people, we win. Now, here's my challenge.
If we hold, we win.
Well, most people aren't going to listen to it, especially the YouTubers with a large account. If you don't sell your ape, till everybody gets ape. Understand? Why? Because they need them shares, and they send them to certain brokers. They're going to sell their shares of ape. Then they're going to take those shares of ape that they just sold and give to me come Tuesday. Now, they lock up over here on Tuesday if they come to my account. But if they go to somebody else's who is weary and tired of the battle, they're going to sell. And what's going to happen? They're going to take those shares of ape and they're going to start depositing them into Cash App for people. For up to 7 days, they're going to be halted. Why? Because they need people to sell their ape.
What is going on with Chinese stocks? I don't know. Like in general or in our market, or I don't think, not open yet now. So China, Asia was down Friday though. What's going on with Chinese stocks? They're probably getting ready to crash. I don't know. They're primarily Chinese.
Those apes over to here and give you a chance to sell them, so they can rinse and repeat the process. Summer soldiers, paper hands, pussies are gonna sell, while the rest of the AMC army are sitting on the sidelines. And some of them are even making videos saying, "Well, it's your fault. You shouldn't be with Weeble." It doesn't matter what platform you at. Fidelity hadn't got their shares yet. Why not?
Because they don't have to have them yet. Because, God damn.
The question is, why is the DTCC cherry picking who gets their shares?
How do you know they're doing that?
And if we research it, we would probably find out that the brokers that are getting their shares have the most volume.
Maybe it has something to do. Maybe it's the brokers themselves. Maybe they're not used to dealing with preferred equity share units. Well, I can tell you they aren't, because they don't trade them. You can't trade those on their platform. So anyway, Chinese housing bubble, mortgage protests, boycott. That's
in AMC. People, that's all I got for you. You watch these YouTubers and, man, fuck it, I'll call his name. And Jackson Hunter's going to sit there and talk that Zen bullshit to you, and you're going to lay down like he's telling you to do.
Talk some Zen bullshit.
And you're going to miss.
Look that one up.
And you're going to lose this war.
You do another
because
meditation.
the first time people start dropping. Now, they got people outside of retail, but there's 4 million of us at least that know about this in our home.
That was an estimate from last year. I love it.
And if you paper hand,
you're going to be poor forever.
You're pussy.
Oh, come on.
You're leaving soldiers behind.
Well, it's a good thing that it's an army of one, right? It's not a team sport. Not a team sport.
And soldiers don't do that. I love y'all. I hope y'all can understand that now is the fight. This weekend is the fight. And these YouTubers that are telling you, don't do nothing, don't worry about contacting your broker, bullshit. Adam Aron laid the groundwork. He filled out this frequently asked questions. He sent it to the SEC so that there would be no miscommunication of when these shares were issued.
God.
And it says right here on number 2 of the frequently asked question, when is the AMC preferred equity unit dividend being issued? And it says right there, dividend payment date, Friday, Monday, maybe Thursday, could be next week. We're not sure. No, it states right there in the document that the dividend payment date, the day they go into your account, was supposed to be Friday, August 19th, 2022.
Well, that's not what that necessarily says.
Now, I also noticed that when I read this, Adam Aron says here in this 5th point, AMC preferred equity units will begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange on the ex-dividend date of what? August 22nd. However, the first initial trade
definitely
of AMC
more on that document
on will be us. If you sell your ape, the play is over. Simple as that. Now, I love y'all.
So now it's come down to this: if you sell the ape, the play is over. It's always something. Jesus.
I want everybody to come out of this victorious. I want all of us to have our money. I'm not going to instruct you to lay down at a time when Adam Aron has done his part. And now it's up to us. Why have they not deposited all the shares on the 19th?
Who cares? God, they sound like children. Why didn't I get in on Friday? I wanted it this weekend, so I could hold it and kiss it because I love it.
But We will work with you.
It's going to make me rich.
You have until trading starts to get those shares into everybody's account. Because
fighting words. You better link up with Al.
Once trading starts,
the AMC militia.
Cherry picked your favorites. You've given them their shares. We have to wait until they can rinse them and send them over here to us. That's not acceptable. I love y'all. Be blessed. I hope y'all like.
It's okay because the institutions that are getting 100 and 200 million shares, whatever, of this ape, they'll definitely be willing to sell them and lend them and all that. AA did his part, and then some $23 million worth. Yes. Prepare for Monday. God, 36 minutes. Here's Jack. Oh, here. Speaking of Jack Hunter, here's Jack Hunter right here.
Hey guys, it's Jackson Hunter. I want to check in with you on the longest.
I'm still alive. I want to check in with you. I'm still alive. Just wanted to guys let you know.
It's a joke. Just focus on other things. Hopefully you're able to get away and stop thinking about AMC stock. Stop thinking about the ape dividend, because it's going to do what it's.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? Oh, I think I still got it fast. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Jackson Hunter. I want to check in with you on the longest weekend of our lives. It's a joke. Just focus on other things. Hopefully you're able to get away and stop thinking about
working on a comedy career there along with a rap career.
AMC stock. Stop thinking about the ape dividend, because it's going to do what it's going to do. Remember, a lot of things are outside of our control. So we're supposed to get the ape dividend between yesterday afternoon and Monday, and I wouldn't be surprised if some brokers delay it a couple of days. I really wouldn't even be worried if I don't see it in my account right at the bell Monday morning, because things happen and there's probably going to be a bit of a fiasco with this ape dividend, probably similar to what GameStop is seeing, because I think they sold more than 516 million shares, and I think we're going to find out.
Well, yes, of course they did. Of course they sold more than 516 million shares. They? Now, who do you mean by they? I mean, first of all, each one of those 516 million shares has been sold more than once to different positions, and then it was bought, and then it was sold, and it was bought, and it was sold. Secondly, a borrowed share that's sold, that's, yeah, selling more than the float. Yeah, that's true. You are selling more than the float. So what? I mean, it's basic stuff. That's one of the things I like about S3 over Ortex, because they actually will give you the float plus the short float combined. They call it the S3 float, and that is the apparent float. So that's the number of, potentially long positions that could be out there. So I've said this for a while. The float, all the shares themselves, and all the positions or equity exposure to those shares in the float, those are not necessarily the same number. You have multiple equity exposures to one share. It's not fraud. It's not crime. It's just the way the market works. It's the way the market works. So more and more, I'm convinced that this whole synthetic share nonsense is, it's the stuff that people learn as they learn about financial markets and trading and investing. And maybe they learn about it, maybe they don't. But it happens over a period of time. When you come in, like the asshole who cuts in front of a bunch of people on the road in a lane that's backed up, and they zoom up to the front and cut over, they don't have the benefit of that grueling experience of sitting there creeping forward in the line. They just skip right to the front. So they're not going to know all that stuff. So the synthetic share thing, I think, it's even sillier than I thought it was before. But where's the ceiling fan emoji? I don't know. I guess they don't have one. That's a crime against humanity.
I don't think anything is going to happen immediately Monday, so there's no reason to even get all worked up about anything. Just enjoy your weekend, man. Hang out with friends and family, play sports, play video games, sleep the weekend away if you need some rest, work out. And obviously this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do not make investments based on what I say in this video, even though I'm not even talking about that type of stuff at all. But I hope you're having a beautiful weekend. I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying this was going to be a super long weekend, and
was he on like Molly or something here?
If you're not in a flow state, okay? So if you're in your head, yeah, it's going to be long, and you're going to be freaking out and worrying, and what if this happens and what if that happens? Well, then it happens. So what? You deal with it. You cross that bridge when you come to it, okay? So and that should be the philosophy for everything you do in life.
Jack's like the bridge over troubled waters.
There's really no
here.
reason to worry about anything as long as you are taking care of what you can control. What you can't control, there's no reason for you to spend 1 second thinking about it. So what I'm doing this weekend is I am resting. I am preparing for next week. I have a nice little surprise come Monday morning for you guys. Just a cool little thing, nothing huge, but you guys will see it Monday morning. But you know, I'm just really rejuvenating this weekend. I'm gonna play some Apex. I'm not a gamer, but sometimes I play Apex and it is fun. I like to play arenas. Not really a fan of the trios. I did trios when I started out.
Wow.
I play as the Revenant on. So there are some computer share accounts that are reporting they're not getting the full amount. So say they have 400 AMC shares, they're only getting like 350. So I've seen multiple reports of that on Twitter, but I don't want you guys to get all worked up if there's a couple of curveballs in the way. Okay, so this is a pretty big endeavor. I mean, distributing.
And CSI says that's nonsense. This is when you fight. You summer soldier.
116 million of anything, let alone shares on a broken stock market, is going to have some hiccups. Okay, so I think let the dust settle is what I'm saying before you start bombarding your broker with emails and phone calls. Oh, and then CEO Adam Aron, he tweeted out earlier today that they are doing a free screening. I think they're giving a couple tickets, maybe 2 tickets or 1 ticket away to Investor Connect members for Friday, August 26th, to see what movie other than Kong versus Godzilla. You can't make this up, man. So look at his tweet, look at CEO Adam Aron's tweet, and he even put out a picture that said, it's a photo of him sitting in the movie theater seat, and it says like, I prefer apes over lizards. And so he's giving away free tickets to Kong versus Godzilla. It's going to be airing Friday, August 26th.
Boy, that's a double entendre.
I cannot make this up even if I tried. So yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I know some a stressful time, a nerve-wracking time. Work out, man. Exercise. It is the best medicine, and I've tried every medicine in the world. So work out, talk to somebody, but in any case, I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. And the shares that, not the shares, the AMC preferred equity units, they should be in most people's accounts by 6:30 a.m. PST. That's the bell for the stock market. So that's all I have to say.
Well, you guys have to get up early for it.
Have a wonderful weekend. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting the channel.
I've already been at work over 2 hours at that point.
I really hope the little guy wins, and I think the little guy will win. Okay?
Yeah,
so
first time in history.
See you guys tomorrow for the updates. Peace.
Uh-oh. Well, you know, it's been a while since we've actually done this. God damn, why do these guys make such long-ass videos?
What's crack-a-lackin', Moon Gang? We're about to get into the final full trading week of August, and there's some pretty exciting...
Like a blast from the past here, isn't it? What is it with all this bullshit? I mean, yeah, he's got way too much money, clearly.
things going on. Yes, we have to talk about the overall macroeconomic situation with Germany and China. We'll be talking about earnings, the seasonality. Yes, we'll be getting into that. We're even going to be touching on Ryan Cohen, kind of rugging the whole Bed Bath &
Rugging the whole Bed Bath & Beyond thing. At least he didn't.
And the small cap sector was
get
down
way
even
into
more
drugs
than 2%.
that we can tell at least.
This means in the last week, the S&P 500 was pretty much neutral, but it's kind of bending back around. So we'll see if it can find support, maybe around 417. Maybe it goes for the gap fill around 412.75, something there. Obviously, it could pull a U-turn earlier, or it could fall through it. Yes, all of this could happen, which I know you're watching this and you're like, okay, great analysis. It could go up, down, or do nothing. But right here, I would argue that we do have this gap fill. From a technical perspective, gap fills are very, very popular to play, which means they end up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. And on the top side of that, we have ripped ever since July 14th. We're up 13%. It's very reasonable to take a breather. You're starting to see that the MACD's about to bend over on the daily perspective. And in terms of the RSI, the relative
it's about to bend
index,
you over.
It's getting a little bit too hot. The engine's getting a little overcooked. So I'm seeing some technical things that it's not the craziest prediction to call out for a bit of a breather. And that's why my first targets are pretty much the low from August 12th. I see that as support, and then 417 and then 412.75. That's what I'll be watching. In no way calling for doomsday or anything like that. I just think maybe the market got a little bit ahead of itself, because we're also getting some of these reports out of Germany where their producer price index way higher than they expected. We have China cutting interest rates because their economy is not really rebounding the way they want it to. So we're getting some signals that I think are putting some downward pressure on the economy and thus the stock market. So that's what I'll be looking for. In terms of seasonality, I do want to let you know that the end of August, it's actually pretty bullish. The start of September, a little bit choppy. Mid-September, very bullish. The end of September, just from a seasonal perspective, remember, it doesn't have to play out this way, is a little bit more bearish. So bullish, chop, bullish, then bearish. That's what we're kind of looking over, I would say, for the next 5-ish weeks. Now, for the upcoming week, there are some important things that I think we should definitely discuss. On Monday, we have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. Then we get some PMI stuff here in the US. We get some of the goods reports. Overall, there's always going to be these important reports coming out every week. Every single day when there's one that maybe has a little bit more influence on the markets, I'll make sure to call it out. But at least in terms of Monday and Tuesday, we have the Chicago Fed National Activity, and then we get PMI. So for the next 2 trading days, this is what I want you to have on your radar. And on top of that, we also have earnings. So Monday we have Zoom. On Tuesday we have Macy's. We also on Wednesday, Nvidia is going to be a big one. I also don't want you to forget on Wednesday, that's going to be Tesla's 3-for-1 stock split, Wednesday the 25th. So make sure you know that if you're at all involved in Tesla, Salesforce, Snowflake. We are getting very, very close to this particular conclusion of the earnings season. Like for this particular season, remember there's 4 every year. We're getting to the end, but there's still some big names. I want to see what's really specifically going on with NVIDIA, just because it's a top 5 company. It does have influence, especially on the tech sector. Now, before we get into, I guess, more of the individual stocks, particularly what I want to dive into is AMC, but very quickly, in case you missed it, I want to give you a recap of what in the world happened with Bed Bath & Beyond. Basically, it was ripping like a madman. At one point, it was up 500, almost 50%. And then ever since then, we are now trading at $11. It has come down 63%. That's absolutely brutal. In the past week, it's pretty much break even on Bed Bath, but it's kind of crazy realizing how much it came up. I mean, it went from 11 up to 30, back down to 11. So just 11 for 11 doesn't really tell you the full story. People were excited. We know that Ryan Cohen, who is very, very well known in the world of really Reddit, but particularly with his association through GameStop, he's been loading up on Bed Bath since the start of the year. He had 11.8% ownership stake in the company. And on top of that, he had just under 17,000 call options for January of 2023, scattered between $60 and $80. When that report came out, it went haywire because people are saying, hey, this guy who kind of knows what's going on with the company, he's buying 60, 70, 75, $80 call options, and it caused it to go crazy. And then it came out that Ryan Cohen kind of sold his entire position. Cohen makes millions on Bed Bath & Beyond as meme traders recoil. He made 68 million. This guy right here, Ryan Cohen from RC Ventures. A lot of people were following him, and now I do find it odd that people are still kind of defending him. I see some really weird opinions out there of like, well, he saw that hedge funds bought Bed Bath and he's pulled the rug on him. I'm like, but what about all the individual investors that also got rugged in this entire scenario? So this kind of comes down to one of my opinions.
It's worth it to take out the hedge funds, right?
Always a suit. RC Ventures paid $121.2 million between mid-January and early March to acquire 7.8 million shares and options to purchase another 1.67 million shares. He unloaded all of them this past week for a combined $189.3 million, which means once again he pocketed just over 68 mil on the deal. Not a bad investment for 7 months. Now, there's obviously rightfully a mixed reaction to this entire development over the past week. I just saw this on Wall Street Bets. It's from I'm Fed Up With All of It. Hey, aptly named. Ryan Cohen, lead the way. If RC is in, I'm in. This is going all the way to 80. He didn't sell. It's FUD. He would never abandon us. This is actually, this third one's kind of interesting because we filed the form 144, which you have to do when you have, like, when you're so highly related to the company, and really with that almost 12% equity stake, he's an activist investor. He basically has to do an SEC filing saying, I'm about to sell some. People are like, no way. He's not actually going to sell. He's just doing this in case maybe he wants. And then we found out that exact day between the 16th and the 17th, he sold his entire position. And now the entire narrative is changing because that's what...
Because you guys are basically worthless. If I can be blunt.
Will do. What about...
Not a financial advisor, though.
RC, the play was never about him. He's just a smart investor. So now they're completely sidestepping it and saying, hey, it wasn't for him at all. And maybe there's a little bit of truth to it. The short interest is still over 50%, almost 51. There's still many shares on loan. The utilization still maxed out. The cost to borrow is still jacked up. And it is still on the threshold list. As in, when we look at the DTCC, at the end of the day, there's a lot of shares that are not properly being delivered. So if you look at it just from a pure data standpoint, there's still some sus stuff going on. Some of these numbers are impressive in not such a good way. But
you could even argue he has more of a right to sell his shares because he's rich and he has a lot of shares. So, yeah, I would say he has even more of a right to do it. Personally,
in terms of the narrative of people,
because, you know, if you had more money you have, then
really buying into kind of the character that Ryan Cohen has been like portrayed as. Well, this kind of takes the sail out of the winds for that particular thing. It is. Fortunately, just by pure laziness, I never ended up getting any BBBY, and I was trying to be as apparent about that as I could. I know some of you made money. I now know some of you lost money. Emotions are high, and I guess one thing I could say to you is remember, water under the bridge. You got to move on to the next play. Complaining about things that have happened in the past aren't going to undo what happened in the past. And just because we're talking about Ryan Cohen and his association with GME, I just wanted to quickly give you these numbers. The short interest on GME, 17%. Shares on loan, 73 million. Cost to borrow, 21. And the utilization is maxed out. GME is not on the threshold list. Now, this brings us to...
Who cares? Short score. Where's the short score? I don't see it. I don't even see the short score. Oh, 54.09. No wonder he didn't say it.
Not on the threshold list. Now, this brings us to...
He should. He should have one. Everybody should. Right?
Probably the equity that many people are going to be watching come Monday, August 22nd. I am talking about AMC. The reason the 22nd is so big is because there's a dividend ape. It is going to be a new security trading on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's going live. The ex-dividend date was Friday the 19th.
No.
And it's going to start trading on the 22nd.
The ex-dividend, that's the ex-dividend date. So anyway, whatever. Like, it's confusing, but still.
Now, this is an SEC filing from AMC's leadership team, so I implore everyone to read this. I will put the link in the description of the video. I very want to quickly go over some of the biggest misconceptions of what ape is or isn't. And then I want to get into one theory that I currently have going on.
Great.
So starting the 22nd, let's just make it really, really basic. Ape. AMC preferred equity units were created from AMC preferred stock that was authorized to the board all the way back in 2013. They have 50 million of those, which means if they want to, they could create up to 5 billion apes, those units. But as of now, they've only done 1 billion. So theoretically, there could be 4 billion more. But just to be fair here, Adam Aron, the CEO of AMC, did state that he doesn't really envision using all of those. As of the close on Friday, August 19th, how many ever shares of AMC you had, that's how many shares of ape you should also be getting. So just for the ease of math, if you had 100 shares of AMC, come Monday, you should have 100 shares of AMC and 100 shares of ape. Now, remember, this is a dividend, as in there's no value being created or no value being lost. It's just being distributed. There's most likely going to be a clear fluctuation in the price of ape, but also most likely in the price of AMC. I don't want anyone to be shocked when they see the value per share of AMC going down because no value is being created. So the value that ape gains, at least on its debut, will most likely be lost from AMC. But since they are trading as two distinct entities, really two distinct securities, the markets then at that moment, like right after its debut, the market decides both of their prices really individually. Now, it's pretty fair to suggest, at least at first, that they're going to trade in a highly correlated manner because they both together represent AMC as a business, but it's not like a particular rule. That's something that logically makes sense, but if you've been watching the market for any amount of time, you know it doesn't always make logical sense. So you're not making any money, you're not losing any money. The best metaphor I could come up with is imagine if you had two $10 bills in your one pocket. This is the same as just taking one of those $10 bills and putting it into your other pocket. You have the same financial investment. It's now just being distributed between two different securities. On the flip side of it, the same thing can be said about shorts. The way I said, if you have 100 shares of AMC, you now have 100 of AMC and ape. Whoever was, say, short 100 shares of AMC, they will now be short 100 shares of AMC and also ape, but the financial argument is still the exact same. It's just being distributed, whether you're long or short, between two different securities instead of all just being in what we thought of as of last week of just AMC. Now let's get into some of the nitty gritty of the situation. One voting, I guess, allotment, one vote for AMC is equivalent to one vote in ape. They are the exact same voting power. I want to make that clear because I'm seeing of like some people are saying you can't vote if you're in ape, but you can if you're in AMC and this thing and the other thing. Once again, this is exactly in the filing. I implore you to all read it. One AMC vote is the exact same thing as one ape vote. We know for AMC as a security, the stock, the common stock, for it to be diluted, it has to be a shareholder approved situation. The same is not true about ape. Ape does not need shareholder approval to get diluted. If the AMC leadership team deems a situation worthy of diluting ape, it can do that. As of now, there's just under 517 outstanding million shares of AMC. So out of the billion that was approved for ape, 517 will be perfectly mirrored over. And then the other 483 as of now are authorized. They're just not sold to the market. That's exactly how they would raise capital. And I want to talk about that in just a second, because I think there's a situation where they can be using that relatively soon. But once again, I digress. Some of the other things I saw going on was that ape cannot be shorted. Like shorts are not allowed to be touching ape. That's simply not true. In the SEC filing, it straight up says, yes, this will be traded like a normal security. And within the US markets, normal securities can be shorted. Thus, ape can also be shorted. Now, just to kind of wrap this up of some of the biggest questions, when will this start trading? When will it show up in your account? This is a little bit broker dependent. Most brokers will have this in your account by trading on Monday, August 22nd. And we know that it'll start trading most likely somewhere between 9:30 a.m. and noon ET. So if you don't see it trading right away at 9:30, 9:31, don't freak out. It was already called out in the SEC filing that somewhere between 9:30 and noon is when it will start trading. The final thing that I really want to say here is the world of options. I found this a little bit interesting. So normally when you go with a stock split, you go through a process when you have options, whether calls or puts. It's called being made whole, where they adjust everything accordingly, and that can impact your strike price. But in this scenario, it was actually called out that your strike price is most likely not going to change because this is by no means a normal stock split. But what it's interesting is, remember, when you have a call, that's a contract, that's your right to buy 100 shares of AMC. And when you have a put, it's a right to sell 100 shares of AMC. That's what calls and puts are. These options are now going to get a little bit funky because instead of just AMC, it's AMC and ape. So if you were to buy a call, or if you already held a call, even without the strike price changing, that call now represents 100 shares of AMC and 100 shares of ape. So it's not really a normal process of being made whole, but it is a very strange one that I haven't found any historical context of how this has played out in the past. But what we know of as now is most likely your strike prices will not be altered, but it will count for 100 AMC and 100 ape. If you have some questions about this, I mean, it's actually even called out in the filing that you should contact your broker. And that's the same thing of if your ape's not showing up right away. On Twitter, I'm already seeing a lot of people on various brokerages saying, hey, already have mine. Looks like we're good to go. And then there's other ones showing correspondence from the brokerage that says you'll have it by the end of the week. Most, I guess, quote unquote, good brokers will show your ape right away. But it depends on your broker. And also there's going to be a difference of if you're in the US or international, what laws do or don't apply. So for broker specific things, I highly, highly recommend reaching out to them. And now just to wrap up this particular part, one of the things that is rightfully getting people excited, rightfully so, is that this will show synthetics. I myself would love for this to happen, but I just don't want that expectation to be set where like this is definitively
yeah, he's basically saying that's stupid.
Going to be exposing all the synthetic, aka naked short shares. If it ends up going that path, that's awesome. I would love the SEC, the DTCC to be paying attention. That would be great. But I'm seeing a lot of rhetoric of this has to happen. And the one big thing that I think we should all know at this point in the market is nothing's ever guaranteed. There's no such thing as 100% or 0% chance. We live in that gray area between a sliding scale of 1 to 99. And I just don't want this to be one of those situations where the expectations get set way too high. We don't clear
like with every other failed catalyst.
And then people end up getting upset and discouraged and kind of turned away from the entire movement. And I get it. I see it on Twitter. I see it on Reddit. Everyone guaranteeing Moass is tomorrow. We're going tomorrow. We're going tomorrow. And I think at a point, it's almost like disrespectful to you, the viewers, like intellect, where you hear that every single...
Who cares about that as long as you're making money on your videos, bro? Come on. Get with the times here. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's do this. I think we might have already had this poll, but we'll see. Oh, here's Jack again. $42.29.98. No, that's the S&P 500 futures price, bro. Like, what? It almost exactly is. Yeah, it's close to it. Citadel margin called. Love it.
Yo, what is going on, guys? So welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, today we are going to be going over AMC TA, a price prediction, and finally this Citadel article where they borrowed $600 million. Okay, so let's get into the video. All I ask you guys to do is smash the like, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below.
We already saw somebody talk about this once today. And I have to say, Chart to Fix's explanation was better than most of the ones I've seen or heard so far. But it was also very non-specific. Oh, they're making moves. Clearly they got something going on. Blah, blah, blah. Come on. I need an intro like that. Fucking frames per second. Go fuck yourself. Why? I blame Thinkorswim. The memory. It's a hog of everything.
Yo, what is going on, guys?
Well, anyway.
Company told lenders, which include credit funds, that it planned to use that $600 million in part
for the beginning. Why does it unbuffer it? Oh my god.
Trading revenue surge.
Okay.
Ken Griffin, Citadel Securities borrows $600 million as trading revenue surge. This is just spewing you a bunch of BS, but it does $600 million.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so byline here. Lenders line up to provide financing after volatility spurs profit gains for U.S. equities trading house. Sounds like they got margin call to me.
Griffin, Citadel Securities borrows $600 million as trading revenues surge. This is just spewing you a bunch of BS, but it does say right here, the company told lenders, which include credit funds, that it planned to use that $600 million in part for additional trading capital. Now, off rip, this is gonna just create a bunch of theories, a bunch of FUD, right? Why did Citadel borrow $600 million? Is it because they want to drop a huge short attack on Ape when it IPOs, because it will be shortable? Is it because
well, it's not an IPO, and the market, Citadel Securities, the market maker, they're a liquidity provider. They're not establishing short positions to short stocks. So, no, it's not that either.
Because they're getting really close to margin call, so they had to use this as collateral just in case so they don't get margin called. Whatever it may be.
Why would they get margin called? This is not a company that's establishing positions. You all know that they seek to be delta neutral. Delta neutral. They don't want what happens to impact their bottom line. They don't want the actual price of any securities they trade to impact their profit. They want to make money off of the sheer volume of trades with incentives and rebates and stuff like that, and crossing the spread. So no, I don't. No.
Citadel borrowed $600 million. Anybody that had to borrow money,
where does it say they had to? Why would you assume that anyone who borrows money has to borrow money? That's a dumb, faulty assumption. I can tell you right now, it's not true. Okay, maybe if you're 24, you would think that, but no.
It shows that either there is a big opportunity coming up, or they're having big financial issues. And no matter what the articles say to you, they're not going to tell you 100% accurate.
But you know, or you can at least speculate intelligently, right?
So I just want you to keep that in the back of your head. This article came out August 18th, 2022. So I decided it is definitely relevant enough to be put into this video. Now, real quick, I want to go over to the technical analysis side of things.
You didn't even say anything. You didn't even say anything. Oh, they borrowed $600 million, so they had to borrow $600 million. So there's either a big opportunity, or they're going to
failure to deliver is that stacked up late June, early July, and it's this red box right here that we have lined up. From this red box, we went from about $11.50 to $15, about a 30-something% gain-ish. And from there on out, we're up 102%, right? 122% from this low to this high. Currently, we're not up 122% from that low to that high. What I wanted to say is if you do not receive your APE, there is going to be a problem. You really have to contact your broker. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because...
How can there be so much variation on this? Some people say, don't worry about it. Some people say it'll be a huge problem. Other people say, go get your gun. I mean, what?
If failure to
nobody actually knows.
Come out low, that means that they did not have a problem delivering these shares, right? So the failure delivers come out low. They didn't have a problem delivering these shares. Chances are they exchange them out. You have fake shares. They got your shares. They return those shares, and you're going to be screwed and not get your APE dividend. This is worst case scenario.
Oh, no.
I just want to put this out there because...
No. If you have an AMC share in your account, then you will get the dividend. Period. It'll either come from AMC or it will come from a short seller who will owe it to you because they borrowed your AMC share. So synthetic doesn't play into this at all, but this is just nonsense. It's wrong. It's misinformation. Sorry.
We don't have the failure to deliver data yet, and APE is coming out tomorrow, and that would be extremely crazy if you do.
Well, considering that, yeah, I failed to deliver. I mean, you know that there's a period of time in which the market has to deliver a security. But when does that start from counting from. Even if it were Friday, you'd have at least 2-3 days. So, why would you have an FTD on it tomorrow? I don't know, but you know they like to talk about FTDs.
Do not have that if you don't see that. Okay, so we're basing this,
which have never really mattered at all anyway. So
off of sort of a Elliott wave theory. There's two scenarios that we have happening here. AMC took a large smackdown, but it's still respecting the overall trend lines that it's been in this uptrend. Okay, so the first case scenario is this trend line right here, this bold trend line that you see where it had support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times now. It didn't quite come down here. This is worst case scenario where AMC comes down to about $12.20. And remember, this ape coming out is going to cause the stock to probably cut in half. So around $8.35 down here.
So he's a cut in half believer. And we have, 57%, say 50% so far.
But we're going to base the technicals off price action now so that you can just reline them up, or we'll come out a video with a video on Monday when that does happen. Okay, so this took about 15 days. This took about 14 days. So we're going to give or take and put about 14 days, 20 hours in this time frame where I think the next move is going to happen. So for the red aspect, AMC is probably going to bounce around $17.75, eventually come up to $23.85, $24-ish, and get smacked off of this resistance up here and have a very, very, very bearish sell-off breaking both of these trend lines. That is scenario one that I have drawn out. Scenario two is that either way, about next week and the week after is going to come up to about $25 or so and get rejected. I'm still expecting that $24, $25 rejection, come back down to about $19 before another run. I think the next run will take you to 36 just based off of the percentage gains on these two previous runs if we're basing this off of sort of an Elliott wave type of theory. Now, again, both of these could be off, but you do have trend lines that are respected. Okay, you have this right here, and if this comes down, in my opinion, it's going to create another touch point, bottoming out, if it does bottom out, around $15.50 on Monday before getting a bounce. But ultimately, looking at that $16 level to hold for some medium-term strong support on AMC. Okay, so overall, you're looking at $16, $17.75. And then eventually, come next week, we will already have videos out, but right around this range between $22.50 and $25. Those are the levels I'm looking at. Besides the dividend, right? If that is going to happen. Okay, so AMC stock, Stonko tracker. We can go over some numbers real quick. 550,000.
Nah, I'm good. Think so. Let's see here. So where did volatility end? Well, this is the futures. Yeah, so at the cash close on Friday, volatility ended at 20.6. Shit. Okay. .65 put call ratio. So people betting that the VIX will rise. And it looks like so it closed at 20.6. It looks like it's going to open somewhere in the 24 handle, potentially, but we'll have to see on that. Here we go. Here we go. Yes.
Everybody, it's Al.
Let's kick it off.
This will be the last video for today. Let's talk about Adam Aron's. He tweeted this a little while ago at 1:29 p.m. Remember, with the new ape seeing it's his first trade on the New York Stock Exchange at some time tomorrow morning, 04. The value of your AMC investment will be the combination of your AMC shares and your new ape units. Okay, an AMC share plus a new ape unit added together compared to just the AMC share previously. So hopefully you guys understand where that's coming from in the meaning of it. We've had a couple of frequently asked question sheets that were out there, and you know, we more or less covered everything that needed to be covered. So let's talk about what would happen if something funky happens. Let's say something screwy happens. Because remember, Ken Griffin's got a couple 100,000 shares, 500,000 shares. If you saw my other videos, you know what I'm talking about. Now, if Ken's got that kind of money, and it's not just him, we're talking about Swan, all the other hedge funds. I don't know how many shares they'll be able to drop in terms of ape, because I haven't checked the most recent one, but it's going to be substantial. So in other words, you'll be able to purchase ape at a very cheap price. I don't know the exact number it's trading at. Tomorrow morning, I'll be up at 04, looking pre-market and seeing what the hell's going on. And if that's the case, well, then we'll know right then and there, and I'll try to either make a video or I'll put it out on YouTube, see what it's trading at. That way you guys see it firsthand and see where it's going. Listen, if you don't get your ape shares tomorrow through whoever, right? Let's say your entire composition of your portfolio is all synthetic shares. Okay, let's say that's the case. The first thing you do, and you don't get your ape dividends, you should call your broker. You record the conversation. Whether it be email, I would prefer you phone call and have a separate cell phone or a video recorder or something that records the entire thing. That way we can hear it, right? In fact, that's what you should do tonight. Get all that stuff lined up, download whatever app you need to, and record it and put it up on Twitter or YouTube, and I'll post it up for you, no problem. But you want to see if you can get it resolved with those guys first, right? And they give you some jerk-off answer, they're jerking you around, and you can't trade this. What do? Very simple. You go to FINRA. You contact us on the FINRA website, and you investor complaint center, and you tell them about the broker. You can't complain about Kenny. You have to complain about the broker. All right. So first things first, you call your broker. You get a bullshit
because
answer,
it has nothing to do with him.
Sketchy or something isn't right. You contact FINRA, and that's it. That's all you got to do. Call them if you need to. There's phone numbers out there, and just complain the hell out of them and let them know this has happened. I'm sure you're not going to be the only one. There's going to be thousands of people, maybe more. Who knows how many millions of people are going to be purchasing or making that phone call? Nobody knows. All right. But we also don't know what time, and I'm sorry, not what time, but what.
So maybe 0 then. Nobody knows. Maybe nobody will. Maybe nobody wants it.
Stock will be trading at. That's why tomorrow morning it's going to be pre-market. I will tell you one thing that I am 100% certain on: that if you sell, you will lose. If you will sell AMC or ape, you will lose. And there's going to be some people that, I'm not going to say who, YouTubers and influencers and stuff, that have told you, hey, yeah, just sell. I would not fucking listen to anybody. This is the time to hold, because now we can see what this is all about. And I believe Adam Aron's when he says, when you add shares to the mix, guess what? Boom, you're going to have a price spike. You're going to have rises. I believe that. And that's why I'm not selling shit. And if you're smart, you're not going to sell shit either. There's people out there that are going to make videos and stuff and say, oh, I'm going to sell. Don't sell shit. All right. Don't sell anything. Wait and see what happens. give it some time. I don't think we're going to see the end of the world tomorrow, folks. I really don't think so. I think they're going to play the shock and awe game as they always do, and they're going to try to fuck with
shock and awe, more fucking military.
Get in your head, and that's it. That's always what they do. So don't, you don't have to listen to me.
Always with the shock and awe.
I know what I'm doing, and
no, you don't. You have no fucking clue what you're fucking doing.
To enough people. I've talked to institutional holders. I've talked to institutional sellers. Pete, Kyle, everybody. We've all discussed it. None of us are selling, getting up in the morning and selling the stock. So if we're the more seasoned people in this game, and none of us are selling. And
Who the fuck said you're more seasoned people? Oh my god. Fucking size of the head on this fuck
thing. I wouldn't either. I mean, just take our advice. Don't sell. That's all. Like I said, but we don't give financial advice. We're just talking about ourselves.
Take our advice. Don't sell, but we don't give it.
You're a new guy. You're new to this thing. I wouldn't either. I mean, just take our advice. Don't sell. That's all. Like I said, but we don't give financial advice. We're just talking about ourselves. But
take our advice.
You're a new guy. You're new to this thing. I wouldn't either. I mean, just take our advice. Don't sell. That's all. Like I said, but we don't give financial advice. We're just talking about ourselves. But hey, you can do what you want.
What an idiot!
Don't complain. Don't send me emails saying, "Oh, we saw blah blah blah" because we listen to so and so. That's not my problem anymore. You're out.
What if people don't sell and it goes down? Can they complain about you then because you told them not to? I mean, logically, you should be able to. This guy told me not to sell or he'd come shoot me. He actually did say that the other day. So I didn't sell because I didn't want to get shot. And that shouldn't be, you shouldn't be allowed to intimidate people like that. So I'm going to sue you.
You're out. So good luck to you. We'll see you guys in the morning. We'll see you at the bell. Good luck. Happy hunting. And let's make some money. Take care. Bye-bye.
Make some money. So go to a Chinese. Here we go. Oops. There we go. Get the whole thing. Whole enchilada. Yeah, I don't think he does either. I don't think he does. I think he works for somebody. He has an agenda. He's too patronizing to be genuine, I think. Personally. Judgment Day. Extreme Gains is back. Oh, look at those lines. Oh, look at this chart. Oh, my goodness. Whoa. What the fuck? Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Wow. Please work. I need to see this in detail. Oh, my God. Extreme TA! Fine.
What's up, YouTube?
Why are they all...
What's up, Extreme Gains family? I'm Chuck. This is Extreme Gains.
Big man speaks.
I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Sunday, August 21st, 2022, and this is my AMC, GME, and SPY Algo Exposed weekly update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope y'all had a great week in the market last week. Once again, it has absolutely kicked my ass. However, I am feeling a million times better than I videos nightly, hopefully, and potentially possibly always the previous double bottom right next door, and then the double U formation prior to the June run-up, and the red previous bottom right next door. Regardless, and we
All right, guys, welcome back to Morant's Rants. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. Shout out to Kyoto and everyone else out there that can see this. Oh man, it's very bullish, by the way. So Adam Aron announced that he's going to give you free movie tickets coming up for Friday, next Friday, for Kong versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus Kong, however they want to do it. Still playing to that ape narrative, right? He even called his additional preferred equity unit an ape. They called it that as well. It's everything you guys want it to be, guys. You guys are all apes out there. You guys are holding and they're using it against you. I've seen this all happen before in time. It's when a guy kidnaps little kids with candy. He puts it in his hand. He goes, here, I'm going to give you some candy. Come here. That's exactly what Adam Aron's doing to his investors. And now he's giving you AMC theaters.
Nobody who actually makes money uses that many indicators. Holy fuck.
Mega bag. Guess what you all are? Mega bag holders. And Kyoto had it dead on the money on that one, guys. Enjoy your cold popcorn. I don't understand that part, but it's not going to make your company run any better. Hey, it was easy this Sunday morning. Bag holders everywhere. AMC, enjoy it. Ape, oh, bye.
So that guy, let's see. So I'm a big GME holder and not a fan. I'm not a big fan of AMC, but is the constant ragging on the company is getting a little old. I watch your channel and rather hear all the great things and updates that relate to GME here. Well, see, that's the thing. In it to win at 69. There are no great things. So what can somebody like this do? You know, take out his frustration and anger about being a GameStop bag holder on AMC bag holders. It's an interesting twist to the grift. Where are the great GME updates? Right, GME is dead and has been. All the rants and barking and only 4,000 subs. Ooh. It's a sign that Rants is telling the truth. People hate truth. Like they hate poetry. RC Screw Retail 2 made bag holders. Ape hold. No, he sold his BBBY and took retail's money. BBBY is the mega bag holders now. GME next? That's what you believe? If Ryan Cohen screws over GME retail, then you can talk. Then you can talk. Never gonna happen. Your boy Morant should stick to GME video. He's all just FUD and all talk. Okay. Want some candy? That was a bit off color to my taste, but okay, one more. Pick a good one here. We got this. We watched a little bit of that last night. Fear does not live here. Phase 6. Pretty soon it'll be phase 12. How can there be this little Citadel going bankrupt? Jesus. Ape price listed at $582 per share. $600 million. This was a fun one too. Ryan Cohen says AMC stock short sellers are dead meat. Yeah, right. So many leaked prices. Leaked prices. Yeah, see, you don't want to sell because Al will come after you. That's crazy. All right, last one here. Here we go. Andrew, no.
Riddle me this, Moon Platoon. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Well, I think it probably sounds a little bit like this. Congratulations, Citadel, for posting a $94 billion loss. You guys might have heard this in Q2.
Oh my God. Wow. This is from the data analyst, data scientist. Now, please actually work. Sabotage. Oh, it's not like we need to read it anyway. Fuck it.
20% of their total holding value, and this is a fight against the stock market, a fight against meme stocks, but most importantly, a fight against retail investors, which is why I've taken the liberty to do a little bit of research of my own. This is
really?
Gonna not be quite like the other videos because we're going to talk about the global macroeconomics. So if that's going to snooze you, that's going to get you guys disinterested.
I want to hear about global macroeconomics from somebody who misrepresented a $94 billion loss. That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Look at Professor Meatball in the corner, watch until the
end.
And
I bet that fucking dog could do better analysis than
we're
this.
We're going to be able to put our thinking caps on because this is going to be a big one. So why are we talking about this video? Why should we comment out what like you guys are all the way up to 1200? Well, it's mainly because of the Russian situation.
That was smooth.
Energy. Probably saw that gas prices had been skyrocketing all throughout the summer, finally coming down, but lagging the actual crude oil market, which means you guys are getting scammed. So, well, how do we deal with that? After people have already started talking about ESGs, talking about carbon free, talking about zero emissions, and inflation being the worst it has been in decades, there is nothing more crucial than the energy sector. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Trying it.
Because 1 out of every 5 Americans is being supplied with electricity from the uranium sector. As it turns out, there's explosive leverage that we can exploit there. Because mainly, when we've already talked about this before, we are looking at one stock in particular, UEC. Let's break it down. First of all, Russia macroeconomic.
Still got UEC, Lynn? I'm taking notes here on this one.
Economic backdrop. Right now, Russia's invasion of Ukraine has precipitated an already fast accelerating global nuclear industry, and now nations are now fast-tracking their pivots away from fossil fuels. In a nutshell, Russia has made it impossible for foreign leaders to trust, which makes the U.S. in dire need of its own uranium production. So, something unthinkable just a year ago happened. European lawmakers have approved a law designating nuclear as sustainable energy source, as part of a only system that intended as an influence direct investment in clean energy. Russia supplies about 10% of the world's uranium, but it could cut off supply to the world's nations at any given moment. However, this is where UEC is coming in. The German Economic Ministry is considering extending the use of its 3 nuclear plants as public support for nuclear energy increases due to the current fuel shortages and the prospect of a permanent cutoff of Russian gas. Netherlands are also planning to build at least 2 new reactors in the coming years. So, meanwhile, in the U.S., the difficulty of meeting clean energy sources and surging electricity demands are spurring a number of political leaders to make a fresh look at nuclear power. Currently, the uranium market is going to benefit from big dollar government initiatives. Really, the U.S. and other nations have no choice but to accept and adopt nuclear power as a fuel source. And this is just about New World Order. What exactly is going to come about when you guys live in the world, what kind of consequences there are of living in them. So that is where we're going to be able to take a look at nuclear power and how it's critical to U.S. energy. As of 2020, the global uranium mine production covered about 74% of the world reactor requirements. Analysts expect the market deficit to continue through 2022, and the Financial Review states that the U.S. Domestic uranium industry is limited to just one remaining commercial enrichment plant owned by Urenco in New Mexico. Virtually no U.S. uranium production despite operating the world's largest nuclear reactor fleet. So there it is. We have a lot of the world's demand and barely any of the supply. So nuclear energy has its footprint in America already, like it or not. Quick fact about nuclear energy. You guys can see that one uranium pellet is about 17,000 cubic feet.
Okay, but this is
natural
fun
gas,
trivia and all, but
2 issued price targets. One about
what
6.
does this have to do with shorts?
First of all, fastest growing, base of pounds.
Jesus.
Investor friendly in the world. Uranium is produced in Russia, and the post-USSR countries cannot
now
be
he's
relied
pumping
upon
UEC.
what's in the world. We talked about that in the past as well. Physical uranium portfolio, about 5 million pounds U.S. warehouse for a U.S.-based uranium company. This is the holy grail for many mining investors. UEC, Uranium Energy Core, actually has a physical and position and is backed by the Rock, Vanguard Group, State Street, you know, the mix. We have a lot of people backing this idea. Also, there is larger and larger opportunities to be able to say, bottom line, there's a positive market outlook. Demand is growing and accelerated market. You guys just got a big dose of. So thanks to UEC for sponsoring this video. And remember, this is not usually the content that we do. We just want to be able to give you guys a little bit of research for your day. And now, real quick, to be able to talk about what that $94 billion loss was, we have about $484 million here times 100 minus 19, about 19.55%. Here's that balance sheet here. Remind yourself that we have been paying attention to this. The previous market value for March 30th was about $484 billion. And after playing a couple of bad shorts and definitely pissing off a lot of retail investors, their current quarter holdings market value is $380.
Notice how unusual Wales phrased this here. Well, so the Redditor framed it as a $94 billion loss. Unusual Wales did not word it that way. Interesting.
Billion. Lost a good 20% of your value, and the markets are still going to be roiling and not going to forget pretty soon exactly what you've done. I've lost 94 billion. You've lost 94 billion so far.
Just dropped.
It's quite a millennial joke.
Good chance to buy it.
As a kid when the Simpsons movie came out. But what do you guys think? What exactly is the market's going to do with this information? What exactly are you guys going to do with this information? And
I don't know. Since it's coming to us from you, the market's probably done made its move on that information. I would be willing to bet. So, you know, shit. Hearing it sixth hand from a fucking YouTuber. Not exactly breaking.
The AMC ape conspiracy and the truth that no one wants to hear. Many of you have reached out to me asking about the AMC ape token, so let's break it down. And yes,
I lied. This is the last video that Manny sent, so he finds the good ones.
Still hold AMC as well. We did sell a lot of our shares last year, but we also kept a significant portion as well. But before we get into the ape token and how this will affect AMC and the narrative that no one wants to talk about because they're too afraid of their declining YouTube views, I want to quickly give a shout out to our Discord for the record gains we've been making. In just the last 2 weeks, I've taken $6,000 from our coaches. We now have 25th, and we have 2 UST last week in an AM giving you access to CE short-term trades. We have bots open up to ensure you get a spot yielding value every single day. Then
oh, I love that. Make sure you get a spot.
About the AMC ape token. APE stands for AMC Preferred Equity, which are preferred shares of AMC stock. Adam Aron said himself, the purpose of this preferred equity is to give AMC the ability to raise more money on an at-will basis. He will need shareholder approval to dilute, but he has publicly stated his intention of doing so. APE will be a new ticker symbol and representing half of AMC's total market cap. Every single share of AMC will receive 1 equal share of APE. So if you own 100 shares of AMC, you will receive 100 shares.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say that it will represent half of the market share. That's an assumption.
Representing half of AMC's total market cap. Doing so, APE will be a new ticker symbol and representing half of AMC's total market cap. Every single share of AMC will receive 1 equal share of APE. So if you own 100 shares of AMC, you will receive 100 shares of APE. Once these are issued, your AMC share price will be cut in half effectively, and the APE share should represent the other half of your
We'll see about that.
Current value. So if AMC is trading at $20 now, after you receive your new shares, AMC should be around $10 a share, and APE will also be trading around $10 a share.
Like I said, we'll see.
So you're still getting that $20 value. This current IPO of new shares is not diluting anything at all. It's just splitting the current market cap into 2 ticker symbols instead of 1. There is a list of reasons why this is overall good, like the fact that APE will be DRS computer share without options chains attached. Basically, shorts will not be able to short and manipulate APE and use the options chains that the way they currently do with AMC. So overall, this is great.
How do
we
they
should
do
all
that?
love it, right? Well, not exactly. Adam Aron has said several times now that dilution is good. He is seeking to do more of it, and he even provided false examples of the last few times he diluted and how it helped the stock price. But I was a shareholder during his dilutions, and I remember quite vividly how it did not help the share price in June of 2021 and how it actually caused it to tank. He timed those last dilutions perfectly in what was best for the company in the long run, but it was absolutely detrimental to us getting the short squeezes that we were looking for. His dilutions and executive sell-offs crushed us when we were approaching $70. Now, Trey did an excellent job at showing the stock prices after each of the last dilutions, but he failed to point out how nearly every single dilution occurred on the way up. It's kind of nefarious of Adam to say that his dilutions caused the stock price to rise. The way I see it is he purposely chooses upswings to dilute so that he can get better prices, which gives the company more money, and if the stock price continues rising after the dilution, he can then claim that it was because of the dilution, instead of recognizing the fact that it was already moving upward.
Because he knows that the AMC shareholders don't understand correlation versus causation. Yes, brilliant.
Before the dilution occurred, and not because his dilution somehow raised the price. So I hate the fact that he's lying about that, and I hate the fact that he's now publicly stating again that he wants to dilute more. He tried very hard last year to get us to allow him more dilution, and we voted against it. And now, a year later, here he is creating some backdoor roundabout type way of getting the dilution in the future. It seems super sketchy to me, in my own personal opinion. I'm not convinced he has our best interest at heart, but let's keep going and let you determine that for yourself. We know that dilution in nature is not a bad thing. It's simply a way of raising money to help the company, whether it's used for acquisitions, debt payoff, shoring up the balance sheet, you name it. I believe dilution in the case of AMC would be beneficial to the company in the long run. But none of us invested into AMC because of its long-term potential. Almost all of us invested because we hoped for a massive short squeeze. We all wanted a very fast return on investment. We thought that was going to happen with AMC. But somewhere along the line of the hedge funds and market makers f***ing us and manipulating the price over and over, it turned into a movement of creating a better market transparency. But in either of those cases, no one really truly cared about AMC's long-term potential. So why are we supposed to care now? And why are we now pretending to care? This wasn't about AMC's balance sheet or ensuring that the movie theater is still around in 20 more years. For me, and for most of you, it was simply about getting rich quickly and possibly screwing over the hedge funds and big banks to do so. So although future ape dilution would likely help AMC pay off debt, acquire more locations and businesses, I personally don't give a shit about any of that and just want this motherfucker to squeeze so that I can sell out for a massive profit and never hear about it ever again. But Adam Aron...
Well, I mean, that's...
As the CEO of the company, he does not care about the short squeeze. He's trying to make sure AMC survives in the long run.
We said that last August here.
As is his responsibility. And to be perfectly doomsday honest with you, he probably doesn't even want the short squeeze to happen anyway. Because what will happen if we do short squeeze? 90% of the float is owned by retail investors who are looking to get rich and hoping it squeezes. Why do we hope it squeezes? Because we all want to sell during the squeeze. So if it squeezes and we all sell, what happens next? The stock price eventually plummets because we all got what we wanted and sold the hell out. That's not a good scenario for AMC in the long run. That's great for us, but bad for him. So I personally do not like this roundabout way.
The Moass is, the whole thing is toxic. Because even if it did happen, it would destroy AMC. That's what I'm picking up here.
Way of diluting the stock in the future. There won't be any actual dilution this week or next, but mark my words, Adam Aron is 100% setting himself up for future dilution, and he will most likely time it when we are finally moving upward in stock price, just like he always does. So what you can expect this week is the new ape shares to be registered this coming Friday the 19th, and most of us should have them in our accounts by the 22nd of next week, or at least early next week in general. These new ape shares are not dilutive and being issued on a one-for-one basis to all current shareholders and are not subject to tax right now. AMC's stock price will essentially be cut in half when this happens, but it will not reflect you owning a lower amount of equity in the company. You will still keep your old...
Why would it be priced the same as a common stock share then? If it's not dilutive, so it is 100% not an AMC share, like common stock share. It's not the same. So why would it be priced the same? Why would it be priced the same? But it's not dilutive. Something that has the potential to turn into an AMC share.
Overall ownership percentage for now. In the future though, you will see Aron ask our permission to dilute the stock to raise more money. This new ape token will not be set at 1 penny, and it is tax-free as it is not a cash dividend. The last thing I want to address while I can, because we don't make a lot of AMC videos anymore, is why we don't cover them as often as we used to. It's simple. We started this channel talking about tons of stocks, and that's exactly what we still do. I'm not here to pump your stocks for you. I'm just here to analyze what I see as potential opportunities in the market, provide you pertinent updates, and let you follow along as you like. There are many more plays out there than just AMC, and we've been killing it in the Discord trading other stocks. These gains would not exist if I was still 100% wrapped up in AMC. I am not a financial advisor, and I'm not here to tell you what to buy or sell. I'm just the degenerative piece of shit that took $5,000 and turned it into $100,000 last year flipping penny stocks. And I'm just the degenerate that built an Airbnb business producing $20,000 plus in profit per month in just 9 months of starting this business. The truth is, AMC turned me away from all future short squeeze plays, and there hasn't been a ton of pertinent AMC updates until now. Every single day, another YouTuber uncovers more and more evidence of market manipulation and a certainty of a short squeeze. Years later, we're still waiting, and none of those updates were really that important in hindsight. So I'm not here to cover AMC every single day with every single new detail that comes out. As a shareholder, I will continue covering AMC when there's actually important news to dissect like there is right now. Until then, just go follow the channels that only talk about this.
And bad back that when a stock goes down, it is naked shorting. So you got naked shorting and you got short squeeze. That's the two market dynamics. Okay, where is this? The AMC. Okay, here we go. This is the last one.
Quick reminder, guys, intraday scalp setup alerts, unusual options activity, platinum one-on-one, all of which is getting more exclusive video content than ever. That link, as always, is down.
Wow. Right out of the gate. Buy my shit. Lock him up. Lock them all up.
Down below, price does go up over time. Get grandfathered in. Let's get into the video. What's up, guys? Over to Wrench Capital. Look, we need to address some of the FUD going around about tomorrow. Tomorrow being the 22nd, of course, is the day that Ape finally starts trading. Now, of course, we all know that.
Tomorrow's the day. That's what according to Trey.
So let's just get to what I want to discuss and get you out of here. Enjoy your Sunday. First of all, you probably don't have Ape yet, okay? It's normal. I don't have it yet either. Now, I know for a fact that I think Public has started distributing them to some people so far, but other brokers haven't seen it yet. I know like Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, at least for the most part, haven't seen them yet. Webull, I think like Robinhood, I know Lightspeed hasn't sent it out yet. They are likely to get the shares, or the units more so, delivered to them in the morning by AMC, and then they will distribute them. I've seen a lot of letters talking about that it's a very manual process, so if you do not have it yet, or have not even been notified yet of getting your Ape, relax. We'll know for sure by, I'll say like the 23rd, but really we should know by tomorrow afternoon if this is going to be an issue or not, which is one of the quote-unquote FUD topics we should discuss. First of all, the recent kind of downturn in AMC stock in general. Let's talk about that for a second. Take a look here at the 16th and the 17th. What happened there that are applicable or is important to our current situation in AMC, right? Well, we saw the peak of this little quote unquote, again, bear market rally in both the S&P. Look, this was the 16th, and also the NASDAQ, right? See, this was the 16th. Okay. If you look at AMC, The 16th, I have this circled because this is the period of time when we were testing that 2575 area, breaking through, rejected, and then of course we began to fall. Well, look, the reason that we fell, of course, is not only because of this TA rejection, right? That would be very silly to think that way, but also on the 16th was kind of our last true day of making a real honest test of 2575 and getting rejected. But here's the thing. On the 17th, guess what happened? Bed Bath & Beyond began to fall, right? Very aggressively on the news with Ryan Cohen, or at least the rumor and then the news. Okay. Now, of course, I do not believe that the market was a bigger factor than Bed Bath & Beyond for AMC. But we should at least consider all of the factors when we're looking at this and take them into one kind of big pool of, hey, why is AMC falling? 3 reasons, of course. First of all, but probably least important in my opinion, the market seeing a bit of a top out in the bear market rally, sure. Okay, Bed Bath & Beyond obviously tied to things like AMC, right? So that's obviously going to be a factor. And number 3, pricing in the dividend, the special one-time dividend of Ape, maybe a little bit early. Okay, so those are 3 things that we should at least consider. Now, the FUD. There's really 2 topics in terms of FUD that I want to discuss and at least voice my opinion and tell you guys what I think. Now, first of all, to be very clear, guys, when I say FUD, I am not referring to it in the way that a lot of people like to use it kind of in slang, as in like fake news purely for the intention of scaring people off. That's not really what I mean. I mean it in the sense of maybe unnecessary and overblown, in my opinion, in this case. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Things that should be considered, but things that are being considered a little bit too much, which I think is the case with these 2 things, but we should discuss it, right? Because they're important and they affect us if this were to occur. Stranger things have happened, right? The buy button was removed on multiple brokers. A lot of people would have said that's impossible before that actually happened. It happened. Unfortunately, it happened. Okay. So let's actually discuss these 2 things because we've discussed, a lot of the positives. It's time to discuss 2 of the things that are scaring people. And look, I really don't think there's any reason to be so terrified, but let's discuss it anyway. Okay, first of all, what if people just don't get Ape? What if some people just don't see it and it doesn't show up and they just end up not getting it? Well, here's what would happen in that case. AMC, the stock, right, is likely to fall tomorrow, right? If it doesn't, I'll be rather impressed actually if it doesn't. But it's likely to fall to price in.
I'll be impressed. It means that the new ticker is worth even less than we thought it was.
A special dividend acting as a stock split, because we all know that's what this is at this point. This is a stock split that Aron's carrying out, utilizing a special dividend. I'm sure they have their reasons to nod at quote unquote apes, get people excited. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is basically just a stock split. So you're very likely to see AMC price that in tomorrow while Ape takes the other side. Now, is the actual holding going to lose value? In my opinion, the actual holding gaining or losing value is going to be no different than basically any other day. The probability, so speaking, of making or losing money, because when AMC goes down, you're also gaining money from Ape, right? So it's basically just like any other day, except your holdings are split into 2 now. Okay. If somebody doesn't get Ape, their AMC holdings basically get cut into what is likely to be half. Okay, that would obviously be a problem. So here's what the best scenario would be if this actually occurs where some people don't get it. The best thing that we could possibly do, guys, is make as much noise as we can. YouTube, Twitter, anywhere we can reach brokers and or AMC directly, right? Start with a broker issue, because the brokers are going to have an issue because they didn't deliver your Ape that you were entitled to, right? If the brokers were to end up not doing anything, well, then it trickles up to AMC. And I would expect AMC to do something to figure out what in the world just happened, okay? And I would bet that somebody's going to figure it out and take care of it. And if nobody does, well, this issue is going to get a lot bigger than just us, okay? Because you didn't receive something that you were absolutely entitled to, and you would have basically just had money stolen from you. Okay, probably about half of the value of your holdings. That would be a problem, and it would get a lot bigger, and people are going to make a lot of noise. Okay, so if you don't get Ape, as unlikely as I personally think that is, if you don't get ape, do not immediately freak out. Okay, because we need to see how things settle by the 23rd, maybe the 24th. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I don't know.
And at that point, some people still don't have.
CSI says get the muskets out. Wake up, General Washington.
Have it. Well, then people are going to be making a lot of noise. Okay, trying to fight for those people who ended up not getting it. So, look, would that expose some things? Yeah, hell yeah.
They really should.
A lot of things. Okay.
They really should. I mean, I've helped them so much. Have to have.
But it still would not be good. I'm
out here fighting for the good guys.
People would lose some value. Okay. Do I think it's incredibly likely? No, I personally don't. Could it happen? Absolutely, it could happen. Right. And I wouldn't necessarily be proven wrong because I'm telling you right now it can happen. I just don't necessarily think it's so likely. Okay. I hope it doesn't happen. We'll say that. FUD piece number 2. And this one's popular and going around quite a lot. What happens if brokers decide to just sell off ape and deliver you cash in the form of a dividend?
Well,
first of all, I don't think it would be all brokers that would do this because they're independent. So that's relatively good news. If a few big brokers did, that would be
it's not a cash dividend, though. So why would they do that? Wouldn't that be, hate to use the I word, but wouldn't it be illegal?
Because in that case,
this is a silly one to me.
We have major brokers where there's a lot of AMC holders basically liquidating half of these people's AMC positions and delivering them cash. In doing so, accomplishing 2 things: putting very unnecessary selling pressure on ape, which is basically half of AMC now, so putting selling pressure basically on AMC. And number 2, leading to churn. Because here's the reality of this scenario, guys, and it's unfortunate, but this would be the reality. Again, do I think this is likely? No. Okay, but if this occurred, this is the reality of what would happen. These are my only 2 concerns about tomorrow. And am I losing sleep over it tonight? Absolutely not. Okay, but if this were to occur, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But here's my concern with this. Brokers sell it off, deliver cash. Unnecessary selling pressure. What else, though? Churn. What do I mean by that, guys? Well, churn, I mean it in the same context as business churn, right? We would see cash delivered to people, and like it or not, you're going to have a few people like not really understanding what happened and maybe just taking the cash and running. But the majority of AMC holders are going to know exactly what happened because they're on top of it, right? And
oh yeah,
a lot of them, granted, are going to take every penny, go right to ticker symbol AMC or ape, which at that point is basically the same thing, and buy. Put all the money back in and buy.
Doubtful that they're going to do that. Doubtful that it would be the ape ticker as well, because most of them can't do it. So that's just dumb.
Then again, I want to be very clear. I'm not looking to be a fudster here, right? I really am not. I am simply laying out scenarios that I've seen all over Twitter, all over online, YouTube comments galore.
Yeah, all the big brains coming up with all these hypotheticals. What if this? What if that?
People are worried about these things, and I'm here to tell you.
Well, what you should be worried that you fucking overinvested in some bullshit because of FUD artists like this guy. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm not incredibly concerned that these 2 things are going to be like permanent losses of either apes or capital in the AMC play as a whole. Because first of all, I don't think they're incredibly likely that they're going to occur. And secondly, if they do occur, I think the movement, the ape movement, AMC as a play in general, I think it speaks for itself enough that it's not going to lose all this momentum just off of one or I suppose, both of these things happening at a grand enough scale. Okay. I really think the play at this point speaks for itself to the point where it is in a lot of ways self-sufficient, where it won't have an issue attracting more money or getting that money back into it. Or if some people don't
What about people getting their money back from it?
Ape to begin with. raising enough hell that the brokers can't ignore it. AMC can't ignore it, and something has to be done. What would be done? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows at this point because we haven't gotten that far. But again, I don't think it's likely. Not losing sleep over tonight. I have not received my ape yet. I expect to receive it tomorrow. If I don't have it still at 30 minutes before the open, I'm not really going to be concerned. I would be concerned, however, if I still don't have it by close. Okay, we've heard from multiple brokers that this is a very manual process. It could take a little bit of time, and you might not even have it by market open. Don't freak out. However, if I don't have it by market close, I'm going to start sweating a little bit. Okay, I'll be reaching out to my broker, seeing what's up. If I don't have it at open, though, I'll be relaxing. Okay, settle down. I don't think this stuff is incredibly likely. And if it occurs, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And you got plenty of people on your side to raise enough hell to make sure that people know what's going on.
Well, but not Ryan Cohen. He's apparently not. Oh, whoa. What happened? Why do I not hear? Huh? Oh, do I have the tab muted?
It's Rico, Finance News, and Keenan Grace.
Good job, Tony. What happened?
Lex, do you like to dance?
When I'm drunk, yeah.
Maybe later
Tony's
tonight
like,
when
let's.
she's drunk.
Oh,
I get
God.
a little shy. I'm
Gross.
camera shy too. I'm pretty nervous right now.
She told me she's not camera shy, but we're going to get her over that. She's saying tonight she's feeling a little shy, so maybe we should start off with a little sippy sip.
You ready?
All right.
What the fuck?
A little drinky drink for KC Shaw.
All right.
I have the Lycian Space Dust for my pregame. YOLO Generational Wealth. Shorts haven't covered. Stock split. Ape. Synthetic shares. Technical analysis. Confirmed. And Citadel. If you guys see anything that you think no one is possibly going to say, let me ask. Let me change it out. Now's your chance.
He's already drunk. Shit.
With that being said, how many we got? 182 watching. I'm going to wait till about 200 viewers. Review dork? Nah, I don't think we're going to do review dork. We need real AMC YouTubers.
Ooh.
Lou was right.
Wow.
Who is Alex? A good friend. You had a different girl the other night. Shh, don't tell Scarlett. Mint Maker, good catch. I don't know what is happening here. Watching you drink is fun. Nobody will say popcorn. Trade spotting. Is that a channel? Trade spotting? Kamal, good evening. TMI we have on here. I'm going to go down the list of who we have on the list one more time, and you guys can add some more names. Boom Boom Candles. Should we add Boom Boom Candles on there? We have Lou, Eight Father, New York Angelo, Trading with Motions, Stock Curry, CSI, TMI, Trey, and Short the VIX.
Wow. All the popular kids.
Marantz Rants. He loves him some AMC. Oh man, I don't think we can stomach that tonight. We're trying to have fun tonight, guys.
Selfish. When I open your legs, I smell fish. You talk too much to everybody. So flirtatious, so naughty. How can you be jealous on Facebook, keeping up with your ex-fellas? You foolish.
Very strategic wardrobe choices too. Come on now.
But they're all small. There's not a single good Giants. That dude, Tony D, mad feminine, bro. Seems like a weirdo. More than a weirdo. You know what's really weird to me, Anthony? Why? And I'm going to tell you this wholeheartedly.
This guy's so toxic. I can't stand this guy. I'm just going to be honest with you. I hate this guy.
He uses his sister-in-law to be on his show. I don't mind saying that right now in front of everybody. Guys, he uses his blonde-haired, blue-eyed sister-in-law And he's like, oh, she's gonna be on my show all night long.
Sister-in-law or stepsister? Or something. I don't know.
Bro, I don't know who's okay with this shit. I don't know what kind of clicks they're trying to get, just trying to get a girl on the screen. If you don't even know how you're getting suckered in with that shit, nice try, Tony. Oh, we're gonna play bingo and we're gonna drink all night, taking shots. Bro, go to a family party with me, bro. I'd be punking Tony. If Tony was my brother, I'd be punking the shit out of him, bro. Look at him. Dude already sounds fam, probably walks fam.
What?
This ain't no bring your kid to work day, I'll tell you that.
Dude.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we know you don't.
Pimping out. No, it's gross. It's just gross. You guys gonna start me off on the wrong way. I don't want to wake up every day talking shit about YouTubers. I don't, but I have to. Have to, because it's in my heart to hate these fools. God, that's why I started the channel. Because I can't stand them.
Yeah, well, neither can I, but I mean, even I wouldn't say anything like that.
That's the only girl he can get to comply. Come on. Yeah, can you imagine? Don't even get me started. Scarlett just starts walking around.
No, I didn't say that, Antoinette. Okay, I'm not gonna go that far with it. Okay, but you know, yeah. You know, a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers do. Yeah, I don't really find him that funny. It's pretty, you know, I mean, it's pretty, honestly, it's pretty toxic to me, but it's not really achieving much of anything. Like the people that, you know, jump on me on this channel for being haters or whatever. Not really, but I mean, this dude, I don't get the point. Like, it's not constructive in any way. So, you know, it's kind of like very much. Well, I've talked about the 5 laws of stupidity before. It's kind of like the worst kind of stupidity. Like, he's not really helping anybody. And I don't really see how he would be helping himself. I guess he has maybe he's making some money off of this, but I don't know. I don't get it.
A deep ass voice compared to this dude.
Add in the fact that, you know, you're a GameStop dude.
You got a real bad temper. I got another woman that wants me to pimp her.
It's kind of silly.
I swear to God. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you to clean up your room? Let me. You know how he always like blacks out the camera every time he smokes, and then he comes back and it's like smoke everywhere? You can hear these dudes smoking and huffing and puffing. Bro, I don't get it.
Model 3 dude. There, that's where it's at.
What Pi-Fi does it, Mass, Tony, all these dudes are just plugged in. At least Common Sense Investor does this shit right here on the camera. Yeah. Hey y'all, welcome back. I told you I did a prospectus. I made my own.
So, you know, I mean, yeah, we make fun of these guys from time to time. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say we don't, but this seems to be about 70 to 80% ad hominem, just like making fun of, you know, various aspects. Most of the dogging that we do is based on what these guys say. Like, the fact that what they say is nonsensical, not how they speak or how they talk, or, you know, if their voice is effeminate or whatever. Like, that's kind of like the easy dumb route. But that's the sketchy people know they're sketchy. No need to point it out. And when sketchy people call out sketchy people, it opens a space-time rift. Not good. Not good.
Own PowerPoint presentation. Took me 2 days to give you the 25 IPOs. That's where the money's going. It's going to the IPOs. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why do I need to go invest in IPOs? Explain it to me. Why can't I invest in blue chip companies? Garbage.
Why don't you? Oh, you invested in GameStop. You're wearing a GameStop shirt. Right. Ugh, God. Toxic asshole.
Oh man, I love the haters. The haters love me. They still watch. I don't mind one bit. I swear to you, I have the realest hater.
Nope. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. Let's check the futures one more time real quick, shall we? And you know what? Can you get off there, please? There we go. There we go. Here we go. So, let's see. Let's look at the whole thing here. I think, no. All right. So we can't extrapolate too much from this because obviously it could turn around on a dime, but, oh, I thought anyway, you know who doesn't care? He'll smoke on camera as Boss Blunts. It's about the only cool thing. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing. Good night, Antoinette. 13 hours until the next episode. 13 hours to AMC 750. We'll see about that. We'll see. I mean, we didn't put any money. We didn't do any bets, but we'll see. We'll see if it's a half deal, if it's a what it is. Beads. Bees. You can't have, they don't let you have bees in here. All right. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys sometime next week. We'll see how things shake out. Manny voted 1-1, and it 1-1 definitely took the took more votes, but you know, hey, it's been one of the guiding principles of this channel ever since last year. What is popular is not always what's right, and what is right is not always what's popular. So we'll see. Doesn't matter anyway, but it seems like there's not too much real guidance that we can trust. So anyway, we'll have to see, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Won't be the first time or the last. So with that said, have a good one. Oh, hit the like button if you don't mind, and subscribe to the channel. Join the Telegram chat. Basically everything that Lynn said earlier. Way up here somewheres. She said it, but anyway, appreciate you all being here. Have a good rest of your evening, and we'll catch you later. Good night.